Welcome to the Clika podcast.
Bless up.
In Bipolar Studios in beautiful Huntington Park, we have the Black and Brown movement.
Right.
What's up, world? What's up, with
guys?
it?
Hip hop for the people.
Black and brown
Positive
means
minded
everybody,
apparel.
because everybody's really black and brown.
Well, my name is, I'll give you my government name. I don't give a damn. Franco Felipe Montemayor Brox Williamson.
There it
That's
is.
my government name. My, stage name. I've had to change it a little bit
Yeah, he
as
don't
I've
smoke
gotten
weed
older.
no more, so he can't be THC.
But still THC, the hardcore, the him conscious time has come. But Redbeard, the feared one, those who despise are the ones who hide from the sun. Son.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And what's your
Thank you,
social media?
It's Black Brown Movement 88, the YouTube channel. We obviously do a
Instagram.
podcast as well, Black and Brown Movement Radio Podcast. Instagram, same handle, Black Brown Movement 88. You can find us as Black and Brown Movement on Facebook, and Twitter is Black BLK_BRN movement.
We're also on Tumblr, too, the same handle.
Yeah. Introduce yourself, bro.
I am Mr. Marquez Jones, Marquez in French. Mad Verbals 1, the scientist, the mad scientist of the Black and Brown movement. Bless up, world. Blessed to be here. Appreciate y'all, La Clika.
Oh, yeah.
What's up with all my black and brown people out there? Because everybody black and brown, y'all just ain't conscious of it. What's going on?
Hey,
yeah.
from the east to the
That's
west.
the
True, dude.
What's real with it?
Yeah.
So before we do anything, respect to y'all, we always like to start off
With our
everything we
anthem.
do with our anthem.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we do it. We, the Black and Brown movement, believe that
civilization
civilization began in Africa. Through the migration, we arrived at Aslan. From east to west, this makes all people of the sun. Through 400 years of blood, sweat, and tears, and through 500 years of resistance, there's a few things we retain through bravery and persistence. The gospel, the culture, and the music. And
Hell
fighting
yeah.
for our children.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah, that
Dope,
was
dude.
fucking dope,
That
man.
was dope.
So I am Anthony from La Clika podcast, Run Rabbit Run. And next to me, I got this motherfucker. Y'all know him.
My name is Bago74. My government name is Luis Esparza Mendoza. ¿Qué onda, cabrones?
What's up,
Hey, oh, shit.
I still don't have a nickname, just Producer Rick at Low Light Gangster on
That's
Instagram.
Okay, that's what's up.
He said he doesn't have a name.
That's his name right there, Low Light Gangster, dog.
That's dope.
This is a screen name, dude.
I guess my government name is Christopher Daniel Cave Perez,
Okay,
and I'm at La Clika Chris.
Yeah.
no doubt.
So this is the beginning to the podcast we have right here with Black and Brown Movement. They were nice enough to bring us some fucking shirts. Dope.
Hip hop for the people, baby.
Hip hop for the people.
I didn't say that to all y'all, but my bad. My handle is Mad Verbals 1 at Instagram, Hip Hop for the People at Instagram, and Mad Verbals 28 at Instagram and on Facebook. Check your man out at summertime. Get your tank tops.
That's
There you go.
HIPHOPPIHPOH.
In the middle is for the number 4, the
And
people.
People.
Hip Hop in reverse.
Thank you.
dope.
Hip hop
That's
spelled
dope.
backwards.
And if
That's
you're like
dope.
me, it'll be on the links in the bottom of the
Yeah.
description.
Yeah, well,
I tripped out when I first seen that logo, man.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah.
like people. Oh, I
Right,
had
right.
that moment, like,
Right,
oh,
right.
shit.
That's what it is.
Moment of
Wow.
clarity.
That's the whole point of it.
Without the
Yeah.
people, there's no culture.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah.
just keep that shit 1,000.
Hell yeah.
Fuck 100. Everybody talk that 100 shit. They minus 99. So I do 1,000. I put an extra zero on it because I'm rolling with the man upstairs and he do it 1,000. So that's how I do it 1,000 because 420 this year, I just celebrated 29 years of being still here. I was shot 13 times on 420 in 1990.
Yeah.
They said I wasn't never going to walk again. What? I'm walking and riding bikes with the motherfucking best of them. So know that I'm a miracle, but know that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, we call him God. He's real. Believe that. I don't care who you represent. Buddha, Allah, whatever. You understand? Know that the real entity is what wakes you up every day.
Yeah.
So
God
if
is
you're
good.
awake today, guess what? Smile, motherfuckers.
Exactly. Make the best out of every single day you possibly
That's
can,
it.
man.
Carpe diem.
Yep.
Seize the fucking moment.
Yep.
Man, you've been shot more times than 50 Cent, man.
I've been
Yeah.
shot twice, yo.
Oh,
So I've been
oh,
shot 14 bullets in total.
Yeah.
I was shot a second time in 1999 on Thanksgiving. Go fucking figure.
Fuck.
We
How
partying
about the fact that I was there both times?
both
Oh,
times.
shit.
The first time he was across the street.
Right,
I was
yeah.
by myself.
We heard that shit, man. It was when he got shot the 13 times. We were across the street. We were like, damn.
Somebody got
just
fucked up.
fucking
It's unreal, right?
dumped
It
out,
was
you know what I mean?
me.
Then,
But I'm going to ambulance. I'm telling everybody, I'm all right.
Yep.
I see y'all a bit
Thumbs
because
up and shit.
God told me when I chose to walk outside with him instead of the fucking pistol, I left the Quete in the house. He said, walk with me. He yelled at me once. I'm in there getting my freak on with my little Russian Jewish chick. And I'm expecting my boys to win half on some 40s and some brews. Some 40s and some brews. Some bud and some 40s and shit. And so I'm like waiting on them and some motherfuckers come knock at the door, you know. And I'm like, who is it? I'm in there getting a little service, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, they don't say shit, but then they leave the porch. I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I figure they think I'm up at my mom's, but on my head is like, something's weird about that shit, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, all right, well, maybe they went up to mom's or whatever. What the fuck? So I put on my sneakers and my shorts. I didn't even have on a short shirt. I go outside, like, Donnie, baby, what's up? My boy Bud and Donnie throw my hands up like, what's up? I'm at the back, by the back stairs, my mom's bedroom window right there. And it's a bush, and then it's a flower bed, and it's all lit up. And you can see two silhouettes, one sitting, one standing. So I'm looking like, what the fuck they doing? So I'm like, yo, what's up? And the fool sitting stands up, and the fool standing squats down. I'm like, what the fuck? Exactly. And then the motherfucker standing, I see him, and he points to fucking Quete. And I'm like, what the fuck part of the game is this? The fuck is this? I turn and break. I hit 3. I go to hit 4. I look over my shoulder. Kapow. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, this fool done shot me. I know it ain't my time to die. What the fuck is this? And from that moment on, when I first left out the house, I had the pistol. I had a 5-shot 32 revolver. And I looked at it twice. The first time I looked at it, and he was like, trust me and walk with me. And then I looked at it again, and he yelled louder. Like, literally, I'm telling you, it was like, walk with me. I was like, okay. I walked outside, put my shoes on and walked outside. And the key point was, this is what people get mixed up. He didn't say nothing was going to happen to me. He said my life was protected. He said, I got your life, don't worry. Just walk with me. He didn't say what happened, what happened. He didn't sell me a pipe dream.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He let me know, I got you covered in the whole bigger picture. You know what I'm saying? But what's about to take place, you don't know, but I got you.
Yeah.
And then I broke, looked over my shoulder, plow, seen it flame out the muzzle of the gun and all that. And I'm like, oh, shit, this fool done shot me. What the fuck? And I go to take the next step, and it's like the movies. It's the first shot, he shot me in my left knee. And just like the movies, I'm start going down. And, when I was a kid and as an adult, I was watching movies like, why these fools never break they fall? Yeah. So my brain kicked in. Break your fall so you don't hit your head. Because what we see in the movies, they always fall, go kaboop. They never recover. So I hit the ground, boom, landed like this, literally. I'm laying on the ground like this. This fool popped me in both my arms twice. Shot me in the ass, shot me in the second shot actually was lined up with my heart. And because I was falling, the bullet ended up being lodged by my spine. Damn. But eventually moved to my right underarm, and they removed it, whole slug. Damn. The bullet in my left leg, I remember it was like a smashed M&M because it hit my femur bone and shattered my shit. Damn. So my leg was like spaghetti. Yeah. So when everybody came outside, I'm like laying on the ground, literally in a puddle of blood gushing out of my back like a geyser. Shit. But I'm like, I'm okay. I just need everybody to pray and be strong. And then my mom came outside because I'm literally, when I say literally, that picture, that's a beautiful picture, by the way. I could look up and see her bedroom window. She come out the back porch, and she's like getting ready to go in the frantic mode. My sister and my girlfriend are standing over there, clenching each other, screaming, fucking frantic. If wasn't nobody else home, I wouldn't be talking to y'all right now because they wasn't good for shit. But my mom came outside, and she was getting ready to go snap into frantics, and I'm like, I looked over my left shoulder, and I'm like, Mom, am I right? I'm okay. I just need you to pray and be strong like you always are. It's not my time. Yeah. And so then she came down, and And then I went into schoolhouse rock mode. I need y'all to apply pressure to the bleeding. I need a pillow for my head, and I need a blanket. I'm cold. And everybody keep praying.
Yeah.
And then the fucking bullshit police, 911's a joke. Play been lied, nor the public enemy. Motherfucker sitting down the hill for 15 minutes, yo. My people was waving at them, everything, and tell the police with their bullshit flashlight, bloop, 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 bullshit. Then they came up the hill. But for 15 minutes, if I didn't have the Lord protecting me, I would have been dead.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they just sitting down the fucking hill and the police trying to ask me a bunch of fucking questions. Touching my leg, and I'm like, don't fucking touch my leg. I got 12 other bullets in me. I don't even fucking know because I only counted 5.
Yeah.
Some motherfucker hit me 8 other times. So I'm like, fucked up. Like, but they put me in this big ass blow up suit to keep me warm and shit. It's compression suit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they put me. I'm like, don't fucking touch me. I'm cussing motherfuckers out because my leg is like spaghetti. But
Oh, yeah. You're in fucking pain, man.
nothing else hurt. Trip that shit. The other 12 fucking bullets wasn't feeling none of that shit. It was all the leg. Went through the fucking corridor doors of Martin Luther King USC Hospital.
Okay, I was going to say
Excuse me.
Killer King. Don't tell me
Nah.
there. We want to see you, man.
I just say that.
Yeah, he wouldn't offend you right now.
We in the ambulance. Them motherfuckers try to go that way, and my mom was like, "Nah, fuck that.
Fuck that,
You
dude.
take my son to USC right now." And they kept trying to talk. She's like, "USC right now, motherfuckers."
That's good
And they
she did
motherfucker
that.
jumped on the freeway, and USC, the motherfucker saved my life. Like,
Yeah.
for real. Jesus saved my life first, but he put them in charge in surgery. And everything was great. You know what I'm saying? Besides, the motherfuckers left a drill bit in my leg. And if there's any attorneys out there want to
What the
take a
fuck?
pro bono, I would like y'all to talk to me because I know that's a malpractice suit, and we need to get that. You know what I'm saying? So we can open up these youth centers all around this nation and our city, and especially for our people. Our young children need some places to go. Gil Garcetti, I'm hollering at you because you're full of shit. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Current price, you too, man. We done seen both of y'all and our children to perform at y'all locations, so it makes no sense that y'all ain't open up no locations so we can keep building. But y'all building up all these buildings with these realtor investors where there should be homeless populations not being homeless and being housed, and y'all with that nonsense. So what's really cracking? Let's get it going.
Yeah, really.
Like a Brown Movement, Mad Verbals 1, Hip Hop for the People, Positive Minded Apparel, Positive Mental Attitude every day. That's how we do it.
When you guys shot, I had a friend who was in Iraq and he got peppered with shrapnel. And what do you call it? He said like it was like the most. He didn't feel the pain off the bat, but he felt like this moment of clarity. Like he started feeling like little shit in there. He had a moment of clarity where he started not like you're living your life, but he's like, I got to do this to fucking survive.
I'm glad you asked
You
that
know?
question.
Because there's a
Great.
lot of people that don't know
Because I
that.
started to watch the movie. It was on fucking, I think it was the BBC channel, Constantine. You ever seen Constantine?
Yeah, I remember it.
You remember the death scene where
Yeah.
they show hell? Yeah, I saw that shit for real.
Man, that's crazy.
And this is the trick that people don't get. Hell's here. Heaven's right here. They're not up and down. People think they are, but they're down the block.
Yeah.
Like, for real, Jesus, he got a mad manuscript for the shit, dude. But when the whole thing happened, it was a trip, like you said. It was like, I seen all that, and it was like real deep. He took me by the hand. We went for a walk. He talked with me, and then he showed me the depiction of Constantine, which is the most vivid picture in any movie of hell that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I visualized it myself spiritually, like real deep, yo. And so it was like, whoa. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you don't want to go? I'm like, nah, I don't want none of that. And then I'm standing there looking at that shit, tripping out real deep, like, dude. And now I catch this bling, bling in my peripheral vision, like, what the fuck is that? And I look, I break down the road like a little kid, like,
Yeah.
and I get down the block, it's the gate.
Yeah.
And I'm on the gate, like, yo, like,
Yeah.
let me in this mother. He walk, he cruised up all smooth and slow. You know what I'm saying? He's like, not your time yet, son. I need you back down there to do more work for me. And like literally in 10 seconds, that's when I see my mom and everybody, and then gave them all the instructions and everything that
That's a
I said
trip,
to them.
man.
But that shit was like really deep, yo.
Yeah. That's a
And
trip.
So that's why I have the energy that I have, because I visualized death, literally, and I seen hell where I could go if I didn't know the Lord.
Yeah.
Which I'll be celebrating August 7th. It'll be 42 years, me and him rocking and rolling,
There you
kicking
go.
that devil's ass. Every day I wake up, he mad, and I love it. I
So,
love it.
in any way, did that influenced the way you go about music or what you listen to and
Everything about it. Everything about what I do comes from that whole experience because the life that we once lived, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of our songs y'all could check out soon. We did all that unfortunate shit that we had to do to survive, you know what I'm saying? We committed genocide against our community and our
Out of
people.
town with keys and
You know what I'm
G's,
saying? We made moves and did the things that, you know what I'm saying,
standing under
we
the street
do as
lights,
black and brown.
3, 4 in the morning, 15
What that we do
smokers.
that we do as black and brown, you know what I'm saying, to survive because they don't give us the jobs that we really deserve to have the opportunity to, you know what I'm saying, like everybody else. So we did all that shit. And, man, you know what I'm saying, the change came in life. Like, when that whole occurrence happened, I had that more revelation than in 1995 when I told him I was on my way home and it's Father's Day. I was like, yo, bro, we can't bust no more missions. I keep having plexiglass visions on the way home, and God said if we go and do any more missions, we get ready to catch the Panther homes. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Like, prepare for your punishment.
I did the touch of the glass with my daughter on the carrying on the pistol, and they sent me all the way to Wayside. Gave me 45 days on the first offense for the pistol. And my little girl, when I left the house, she wasn't walking. And I'm fighting to get home to be there for her birthday. Her birthday's 4 days after mine. They come and visit me at Wayside, you know what I'm saying? And she running around the visitor room with Famous Amos all over her face and shit. And I'm like, tripping out, smiling. But then she come and walk up to the glass and put her hand on the glass. Man, I had to go. I was like, bro, I got to roll. I can't be crying.
Your heart, man.
It did. It cracked it, and I started crying. I was like, I got to go. I can't be up in this motherfucker crying. Put that wet 40 on my books. I'm out. And I was like, I got to get out this motherfucker. Her birthday coming up. I said, I don't give a fuck if I miss my birthday, but I need to be there for her first birthday. And
So that besides
she's the
the
first
getting
one to
shot,
save my life.
it was that, 'cause we had kids.
It's like,
Our first kids were, what I'm saying, a couple months apart. And, all of our kids have kind of been, in the same area, you know what I'm
So
saying?
you guys always laying pipe at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a whole nother story.
well, we done black and brown a few, bro.
Hey, he's like, hey dog, I'm about to lay pipe. You go down, and do your shit too.
Right.
Black, brown, and pink, bro.
We keep that shit real. International multicultural. We don't discriminate.
And you said you were with them when he got shot. I mean, how did that change you?
The thing for me was, we grew up in it, and
Think of it.
before I really had known God personally and had my personal relationship with him, because I was born Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, made my communion, got to confirmation and started having questions, and I felt like, I wasn't getting the answers to. So I kind of left religion alone until I went to college, and a freshman in college, I took a religion class, which kind of taught on the main religions. And so I, kind of took something from each one of the religions that I liked. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to start my own religion. I'm like, wait a minute. No, that kind of sounds like a cult. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of backed up off of that. But, again, before I knew God personally, we were in a car accident together. Keep in mind,
on the way to UCLA party.
We don't mind telling people our age. You know what I'm saying? He 49,
49,
47.
strong.
We 2 years apart. You know what I'm saying? This is my big
49,
brother.
but I'm doing it like I'm 30.
We've known each other since 14 and 12. And so we've been through a lot of the shit that we've been through together.
Yeah.
So, we was like in the playing basketball with our boy from UCLA and was in like this major
Avery Williams,
4 or 5
shout
car
out.
pileup, car accident, came out unscathed, you know what I'm saying? Living in the hood, getting shot at. He's gotten actually shot multiple times, whatever. I've been shot at a couple times. But even really then when you guys was getting shot at, for whatever reason, I do know the reason now.
Shit
and it
always
was
happens.
God. I was never around. When shit went down, I was never around. Like, I was across the street when he got shot the multiple times. And I was in a van.
When I got shot the second time,
Yeah.
we was partying on Thanksgiving. Getting fucking loaded.
You know what I'm saying? We don't mind, you know what I mean? I was chopping up lines in the van, you know what I'm saying? We drinking on the
Had
block,
that bomb
whatever.
candy back in the 90s, baby.
And I'm in the van, and I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and I see this kid come walking, because we lived on this hill. off of the Deuce 8 block. Shouts out to the Deuce 8
28th
block.
Street, baby.
Adams and
5 times.
Crenshaw area
Oh,
where
wow.
we grew up. Montclair specifically.
Okay.
With
And so-
gang related for all the gang bangers. We
You
grew
know
up
what I'm
in the
saying?
Black Pea Stone area. That's
Oh, there you go.
notorious. You know what I'm
Is
saying?
that
So-
like by the USC area?
Yep, right
Close,
down the street.
Close to, yeah.
Basically, it's
All
only
right.
what 1 mile away or whatever.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, come to find out,
We
the
call
reason,
it the wild. Excuse me, my bad. Wild Wild West is what we called it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
We on the west.
Little,
Y'all-
Ir-
y'all
little
ever been-
Iraq.
Y'all ever been to
there.
Johnny's
Little
Pastrami?
Iraq.
I know it's at.
That's where we live, right
Sure,
down
it used to
up
be.
the
So,
street.
It
right
used to be
there's like
there,
it's like
yeah.
around there was like Harpies hood, like
The Harpies
Down
was
the-
the
down
Harpies
the
was
way
right
off
there
of
on
Adams,
Hoover.
yeah.
Adams
But there was
and near
down
Hoover.
by Adam.
But that was our boys too.
Hoover.
You got Phillips down the street too. That
Yep,
barbecue
right
joint.
there on
yeah,
Crenshaw.
Crenshaw, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they was around too because in the '92 riots, we were like black and brown.
Black and brown,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you came through Montclair and 28th, you better knew somebody.
yeah.
You
Oh,
better hit
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit up right, or it was gonna be some shit.
Yeah.
But the Dead and Harvey homies was there. The
Yeah.
Easy Riders.
Easy Riders.
We had a homie there from Whitmer Street. It was
Yeah.
it was about hustling.
Yeah.
Because we were a
Could-
small hood.
Shout out to
and
the homie Happy because
and
he
there
did
was
my tat.
A
Oh,
gang
yeah.
of other hoods surrounding us. All
Yeah.
the enemy hoods.
Yeah, we surrounded
So we
by
had to
them.
be tight. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like him and I grew up there, but we didn't bang.
I'm
you know what I'm
honorary.
saying?
I
Yeah.
never went to no meetings. My mom
Yeah.
wasn't having that shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to moms.
Yeah, they was trying
Hey,
to
moms
trying to
know,
recruit.
man. Moms
know.
know.
But
dude.
all the homies in the hood to this day, they respect my mother
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
She was one of them moms that stood up against
Yeah.
the hood,
That's
the
how-
hood,
that's
the
how
real,
my mom was.
the real gangsters. But they was all my boys. They
Yeah.
were my brothers. They were my
Yeah.
homies. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the hood, but I never went to no meetings. But I held down the block I lived
Yeah.
on. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
when they tried to recruit me and the homie, shouts out to Carlos Barriga and the Barriga family. That's the Barriga family lived across the
Oh,
street
familia.
from his family,
Rest in peace,
the
Mama
Joneses.
Maria.
You know what I'm saying? And that's where Black and Brown started on the Deuce
Yes,
8
sir. Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Because we just, you know, as kids, you know what I'm saying? We didn't
Playing football
we didn't
in the
see all
streets.
that shit. We was kids and we played football, baseball in the streets
Yeah.
together.
I ain't
You're
go
not paying
see.
attention to it at all.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where Black and Brown started for us. And then as we grew older, then you had the gang, you know, our, like I said, our hood.
You gotta tell them to have that happen though.
What?
The whole black and brown.
Yeah, let's
we're
get
about
let's
to
get
ask
started
you.
on
Yeah,
that.
what's
Juan
that? Where'd that
Carlos.
come from?
Juan Carlos, as he mentioned,
Yeah, Carlos
he's the
Briggs.
originator of the idea.
Yeah.
And we listened to James Brown sitting on the porch and shit. You know, we loaded. And we like sitting there jamming. 19, what was
I'm
it?
black and I'm
Was it
proud.
1989?
I'm black and I'm
Yeah,
proud.
summer 89.
Yeah.
And we like, it's black and I'm proud. And he was like, what did we say? We black and we brown. We was like, yo, that fucking shit's dope.
Yeah.
Like, you see, we got the black and brown on our arm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But he got the black and brown on his forearm with a
He
peace.
tatted himself.
With a peace sign that he tatted himself.
Oh, yeah.
And he loves sisters, even though he's married to my sister Maria, a brown sister, his teenage love.
Uh-huh.
But his growing up, it was in him. He was he went to the block to get put on
Yeah,
at a
not,
meeting.
not on the SA
poli-
side. He
the
was on the
police-
black side.
The police came, and that's the only reason he ain't from Black Pea Stone originally. You know what I'm saying? He had his khaki suit on the whole night. He was ready to get initiated. So he grew up, it was just in him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like when that whole thing developed ideally, it was like, yo, that's just fire. And then we just built off of it.
Yeah, we thought we was gonna be a rock band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we first it was
And what year was this? I'm sorry.
It started, the concept
Late
came in
80s.
summer
Late
89.
80s, okay.
late '80s.
And then it started building.
Yeah.
Him and Carlos was doing it in 1990. He
Yeah,
left to college.
It was before it
in
was Black and
Humboldt.
Brown
Yeah.
Movement. It was called Peace, and it meant it was an acronym for people empowering art and culture. Everybody, you know, just some shit we was
Yeah.
coming up with. You know what I mean? And I didn't play an instrument, and my boy dabbled in some instruments. You know what I'm saying? Because his brother was in the band. You know what I'm saying? Like quebraditas and
Yeah.
rancheras and stuff, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Norteña.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So he played a little, whatever, and so we thought he was going to do this rock band, and then it was like, yeah, okay, that wasn't happening. So then we had this crazy idea that, you know, he came with the Black and Brown Movement. We were like, all right, well, fuck it, you know, we don't believe in rap per se, and we're not rappers because that's what you do.
Rapping
Your lips
Christmas
is
time
flapping
only.
and when you're rapping gifts and shit. You know what I'm saying? We hip hop, we MCs, whatever.
Yeah.
But back then we were like,
EMCEE.
we wanted to be rappers, and so, him and I were basically the first MCs of the Black and Brown movement, and he was hustling, you know what I'm saying? So he was out on the block, he was doing his thing, hustling, had the little females and stuff, and he's a couple years older than us, and I don't, you guys would know when we were younger,
You look up to him,
the
right?
age gap is huge, right?
Yeah.
2 years is like crazy,
Yeah.
like a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
generation.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? As we get older, like your cousins or whatever, you're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, you're only like 3 years younger
Yeah,
than me.
yep.
You were like
Yeah.
this, you know what I'm saying?
That's
You're
very
young.
true, man. Very
Yeah.
true.
So it was kind of like that. He was like the big brother to us, and he was hustling. And so, when we started actually doing the rapping, he would like kick down hustle money, like so we can go to the studio and do shit. You know what I'm saying? And so we did our first performance at the Good Life Cafe.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. So
Been there.
those of you who know LA Underground, LA Hip Hop, Good Life Cafe, right there off of Crenshaw and Exposition, was,
Right
was
before- It
infamous.
was
you
before
know?
the blow.
That's Laverne
Yeah.
Park.
Right before the blow, man. You couldn't
Yeah.
cuss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
That was the only drawback.
So we go up in there and we're performing, and we're gonna be we're the Black and Brown movement, and he's brown, brother. I'm mixed. Cherokee, Mexican. Got some European in me.
Yeah.
I look. A lot of people. Grew up in the hood. I was a white boy.
I thought, honestly, the first day I fucking met you, I thought you were white, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, man, I get it all the time.
Yeah.
I always call him white. I'm the only one can call him white boy.
Yeah. I used to have plenty of fights.
Hey,
and that
we,
shit,
we had a lot of tension though growing up because he's like, I'm not fucking white.
Yeah.
He used to get mad at me.
Well, when I first met you, I remember you said the name Redbeard, and
Yeah.
like, he's Indian. This guy's Indian, dude.
Right.
I
Yeah.
automatically thought that. I'm like, all right, cool. This is awesome, man.
Cherokee,
what's
man.
up.
Yeah. So.
Conscious minded, third eye open.
So him and I, you know what I'm saying, and we go and we're talking about Black and Brown, but there's no black. And so we're fucking rapping our shit, and he's wearing a Tejas shirt, I was wearing a Colorado shirt,
There you
like
go.
representing Aslan, whatever.
Yeah.
But the black wasn't there. But we're hollering Black and Brown movement, and so people were like
The fuck?
confused, like
Yeah.
they probably like were looking at the music and the rhymes like, okay,
Yeah, because he got confronted by
Probably
some,
okay,
some
whatever.
essays out in West Covina or whatever at the party.
Oh,
yeah.
shit, man.
West
They got mad
Covina.
and they was like,
Yeah,
"What
why
the
it gotta
fuck?"
be black and brown? Why can't it be brown and black? I'm like, man, dude, know your history, man. We just
Black
said it in
came
the
before
anthem.
brown.
You know what I'm saying? The east, the west, the color scheme: black, brown, yellow, red, white.
Not
Yeah.
even then,
You can
but
get,
the
you know-
motherland, black came before
Hello,
brown.
you know
man.
what I'm saying? It is what it is. But yeah, so you get some ignorant
Hey.
people out there, whatever. But
You got a lot
I'm
of people
all
look
of
at-
it.
Yeah or nah?
I'm all of it. That's the killer part. I just
Yeah.
found out not too long ago that I'm fucking part Russian. I'm fucking part Middle Eastern, Iranian. I'm fucking Scottish.
Yeah.
How did
And
you-
I'm,
did
But you
you-
look at all those. Those are all
I'm
people that
fucking
came
Native
in-
American,
Yeah.
and I'm 57%
hey, man,
Mandinkan.
Ancestry.com is a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you
So
went to
it's like-
Ancestry?
So
you
you
got
did-
that swab?
That's
Yeah.
only on my mother's side.
Yeah.
I don't even know my father's side
Mm-hmm.
because he on
Yeah.
some bullshit. Won't give me the fucking information to my grandfather to, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
found out a
unfortunately,
whole bunch of other crazy shit the family is. Well, y'all know
Yeah.
we ain't different. We find out shit as we get older
Oh,
about
yeah,
our
yeah,
fucking dads and shit. We're
oh
like,
yeah,
what
all
the
the
fuck?
skeletons. In
You
the
got it. Hey,
And there's a lot of
that's
people-
that's my sister. You're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So it's that crazy type shit.
I
but
found out I'm part French.
right.
Like a couple
Hey,
weeks
who's
ago.
100% anything nowadays? Right?
Nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody is.
It's all
man.
about where your mindset's at.
There's
But
never been no 100%
so, look,
nothing since slavery. All that shit stopped then. Because even with the white motherfuckers dibbing and dabbling with the motherfucking housemaids and shit, all that shit stopped then. So I look at all the Aryan nation and white supremacy motherfuckers like, you guys are retarded.
Yeah. And
Because what do you say? What are you trying to say? It's not existed since
Yep.
long time ago.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why one of our concepts is IMC, which is
International multicultural.
Yeah, of course, man.
One of
'Cause
my
it-
biggest influences was Malcolm X, and I read the book by Alex Haley, and
What book ain't you read?
that's another thing. But the movie, shouts out to Denzel and Spike, but finding out that Malcolm, as militant as he was, you know, as Afrocentric as he was, when he went back to Mecca, you know,
The truth
and
came
he
out.
saw that Muslims were of every creed and color, nationality and whatnot. You know, his mindset changed, and so
Why he got assassinated.
for us, that's where, you know, things change, you know. And so kind of circling back with the movement, my brother fell off, my brother Los, you know, besides the fact that, you know, it wasn't really working with two Browns.
Well, he
Mike
realized
Brown.
he's more of a producer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
He's
he
a hip-hop.
realized he
And then,
wasn't
you know,
really a
the love of
rapper
his life, as you
or
said,
an
and all
MC.
that.
So he's like,
And you guys started spitting some
he
shit.
just
or
stepped
what?
out one day,
One
like,
day,
yo,
this
I'm stepping
fool-
down. And I was
Right.
like, what?
He steps down. This
I was
fool's
like, well, fuck it.
fuck
I'm in. I got it. Don't trip.
Jumped on the mic or what?
It happened one day. They were practicing, going to the studio to work on recording a song for an album. And our other little brother, Silas, Papa Silo, he was struggling with his verse. I'm sitting there rolling up some weed, some blunts and shit of that bomb Chronic 1992.
Back
We
then.
was smoking Chronic in
When it was
92. That Humboldt shit.
The good shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Went to Humboldt State for
Shouts
Before
out
this-
to Nose.
Before that Kush came out for all you young children.
Yeah, you know, all the indoor grow. We was smoking that natural. But and so I'm rolling up a couple fatties. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there and he's struggling with his verse, but I hear the whole verse. So I come off like and spit his verse like pow. And everyone's looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm even sitting there like in my head like, yo, I just did that. And so I was like, in my head to myself, like, I could do this shit too. But I
Yeah.
wasn't tripping. So then one day I called my brother and shit. I'm like, yo, Franco, I just wrote my first verse. Man, that shit was a long ass verse. But it was the song they was doing was called Dibbity Daps, giving props to the kings of raps. You know, shouts out to Run DMC, BDP, Public Enemy, and basically he'll tell you that's what my verse conceptually consisted of, was all that. And it was like my first verse was stupid fire. And from that moment on that was it.
He knows you.
That was
bug.
it. You know what I'm saying? Mad Verbals began.
You had it, man.
So what were your influences back then?
Well, you said Run DMC.
Yeah,
for
Run
Run
sure.
DMC, first off, rest in peace to my brother Jam Master
Rakim.
J.
Master J.
Literally, because I knew him personally. I introduced my brother to him one day. He thought I was bullshitting. Like, yo, come on, man. We about to walk up the hill to my
Like,
boy.
don't be all starstruck. Don't be
To
all
my boy
starstruck.
Bud and V's house and shit. But I need you to be chill. He's like, why?
Dude, I walked
said-
in there and this fool
I
sitting there
said,
playing
because Jam
Sega
Master
Genesis.
J is up there right now.
Fucking
And
rolling
he
the
looked at
J,
me
Jam
like,
Master J, rolling
Wow.
the
he
J.
looked at me like, what the fuck? You bullshit. I'm like, nah, bro, for real. Jam Master J's up there right now. Niggas, we about to go play some Madden on Genesis and shit and blow. And he's like, for real? I was like, dude, just be chill. Don't go into fucking fan mode. You know what I'm saying? And as soon as we get there, my boy opened the door. And we're like, yo, what's up? What's up? And we get upstairs. As soon as we get through the door, the bedroom door, Jay's right there on the sticks. And Franco's looking like, and then my boy's like, yo, Jay, what's up?
Grew up,
And,
man.
and he
Run
introduced
DMC,
him
you
like,
know
what's
what
up
I'm
with it,
saying?
Jay? Because we played basketball together at Roxbury Park over in Beverly Hills. We balled up. You know what I mean? So, like, when he got murdered, I cried because, I knew him personally. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man TV and my man BUD. You know what I'm saying? Because my man TV was in the industry. He actually was a big part of Faith Evans' career. He actually was her husband.
Yeah, he was married
And you know
to
what I'm
her.
saying?
shit.
So Biggie's children, his
The
children.
same spot. Wasn't it the same spot that they lived when we...
Faith, you met Faith.
I know, that's
right.
what I'm saying, at the same spot.
Damn, I forgot about that.
We went over there one day to check out TV and Bud, and we go over there, and she
Faith
comes
is right
out
there
with her
chilling.
little robe and shit,
Yeah.
comes out the
She
room.
been
I was
asleep, just woke up.
like, "Hey, man, that's
You know,
family.
and he's like,
It's right here, man.
right. So he got a kid with her,
Doing
you know what I'm
big
saying,
things.
and whatnot. And you
He
know,
took care of Biggie's son.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
like Biggie's son is his son right now. Now they working on some shit right now. Y'all be seeing that kid in a minute,
Wow.
like whether it be fashion or in some music aspect.
Yeah.
He had Biggie's son playing football for the Bruins, the Baldwin Hills Bruins.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we
Yeah, we
coach
former
football. We used
coaches.
to
I'll
coach
be
in the
back
Snoop
coaching
League.
soon.
There you go.
Both my sons played in the
Tampa,
Snoop League.
we was with the South Bay Bucks.
South Bay Bucks. Shout out.
Oh shit.
So I want to know what game was he playing
My
on the
man,
Sega?
Cat.
Dude, was it fucking Altered
Madden.
Beast?
Madden,
Oh,
baby.
Madden.
No, it
We
was
old
Madden.
school
Madden,
Maddeners.
hell yeah.
We started when Madden begun.
That's the only
Oh.
game I remember for some reason, dude.
From
Madden
Sega?
and fucking Altered Beast.
Dude,
Yeah.
you got to remember Sonic
Ultra
the
Beast
Hedgehog,
is the
dog.
shit, though. Don't
Sonic
get it
was
twisted.
Sonic
Ultra
was
Beast is the shit.
Hell yeah, dude.
Sonic is like the Super Mario for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Sega.
Hey,
Sega, yeah.
I remember
You
that
can't
shit.
forget.
Better
You can't
graphics.
forget Castlevania.
Castlevania. Yeah.
Castlevania was
I
the
never
shit.
played
Hell yeah.
Castlevania.
Well,
dog.
Joust.
We only had 2 games, dude. That's all we fucking
I
could
used to play
afford, man.
fucking Mortal Kombat.
I had
on Sega.
NBA,
yeah.
Pat Riley NBA on that
There you
joint,
go.
yo.
Yeah.
Pat riding a slick back hair and shit.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. They made a basketball game and shit on Genesis.
Hell yeah. What kind of how did you guys make your music back then when you guys first started?
Fucking old school,
I love that.
Old school stereo.
On the
with the
motherfucking
double cassettes.
Pause tapes.
4-track.
Come on, dude.
Oh,
We had the staircase and the fucking
Had a mic hanging from this
hanging
fucking
down. That was our
There
staircase.
you
move.
go.
We
We-
started with nothing,
know,
dude.
Yeah.
And then
Creative
we,
minds,
We
man.
bought a fucking 4-track.
Mm-hmm.
And we started working with a 4-track.
Then we did a little macking. We got a computer bought for us and a couple and a mic.
Yep.
And then after that,
I think Acid really
yeah, we started
Sony
on Acid
yeah.
4.0.
and sound
And I fucked around and went to
shit.
ELAC.
Oh, that's old school.
I went to ELAC and took a couple classes
Pro
for
Tools
MIDI and
class.
Pro Tools.
Yeah.
And like,
We've been fucking with Pro Tools for years.
Like
then I
Pro
fuck
Tools.
with, shouts out to
man.
Bob Dawson at ELAC. And then he realized I had creative gift. I didn't even do past fundamentals 101 because I got sick, which I found out later was Crohn's disease related, which I don't have no more because I cured it. So the government's a lie. But so I ended up, he took me under his wing because he seen I had the gift. So I ended up being in one of his, I did the MIDI class, I did the Pro Tools class. Then I ended up being in one of his classes writing compositions. I wrote 2 compositions already. I did Dock of the Bay in the G note. What was it originally in the F note, right? I think. Sitting on Dock of the Bay.
They're the musicians right here, yo.
Right? It's in the,
Hey,
F,
yo,
it's in
yo,
the
yo.
G note initially, right?
What,
or
what?
F note.
What?
Sitting on Dock of the Bay.
Dock of the Bass G.
It's in G.
It's in
I
G.
flipped it and did it in an F with a live band, which was his artists and friends that he performed with for 30 years as a musician. He left Pierce College and came to ELAC, but he took me under his wing. He realized this kid's got something. He always said to me, "Man, you've been shot more than Tupac. You should be a rapper." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't glorify that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm more it's a spiritual lesson for people more than it is about you know what I'm saying, milking it for money." And so he took me under his wing and I was in this composition class. I wrote Sitting on Dock of the Bay in the G note, and then F note, excuse me. And our final was out at Pierce College, and all his friends played our shit that we wrote. I learned how to transpose sax, all that shit. That's some intricate shit, but the greatest shit I ever learned.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the gift that I learned was from my grandfather. Shout out to rest in peace to my grandfather, Clarence Casey. He was a very prominent known jazz musician up in the Bay. He played clarinet, but he also was the only black man tuning pianos back in the day in the Bay.
Wow.
And that's where I realized I got all my musical
music is
talent.
definitely in our blood. My pops, my biological father, I'll say, he stood in bass for Sly and the Family Stone. Like, you know, when we started out with tracks, whatever, in the late 80s, whatever, I went to Humboldt State from 90 to 92.
Okay.
And
He was known as IMC.
yeah. And so when I went up there, my roommate was a saxophonist in the jazz band. And one day he
Shout out to Johnny Pathfinder.
Johnny Pathfinder. Yeah, he was like, "Hey man, we about to go jam out off campus, you know, this garage, whatever." I was like, "All right, cool." So we go. They had a sax, upright standing bass, lead guitar, and a drum set, but they didn't have vocalists, and so they're just playing covers and shit. And they were playing War, and so I'm sitting there, and I had just pretty much, you know, we had just started, and by the time I left, so. You know, I'm still fresh, but I'm writing rhymes and shit. And so I wrote this song that had to do with Humboldt, smoking weed or whatever. And so I was like, hey, can I get on the mic and spit? They was like, cool, yeah. So I jumped on there and I spit that shit. And, you know, next thing you know, we start playing 10 cake parties. And, you know, we played on the campus and the quad. And at the end of my second year, you know, because we're talking about live music, and then I had a vocalist. So he was singing the hooks, I'm spitting. And it was like, after the little bit of tracks we did early before I left, it was all music. It was, you know, live band. And then, you know, that whole thing ended in the end of 92 when I opened up for Cypress.
No.
Wow.
So
He set up Cypress to come up to Humboldt.
I learned
Good.
that, you know, the university would have a speaker come from, you know, out of state or whatever and talk about a topic. And I learned through, you know, committees and whatnot that, okay, so they would
Yeah,
pay.
he being modest. Fuck that. Hold on, let me interject. This motherfucker is responsible for the Metro and the Black Student Union unifying
I was
at Humboldt.
president of-
That's how Black and Brown even expanded
Yeah,
further
up there, yeah.
in the college circuit was him doing some
you
shit
had a
like that.
small black and brown population up there. It was the majority white population, and it's a small campus, about 7,000 students. So you had a small Metro and a small BSU, and so before I became president, I just started, you know, in Metro meetings, whatever. Then I became president, so I started forcing our members to go to Black Student Union meetings, and then they started doing the same. Then we started supporting each other's events or causes or whatever. And so I had Black and Brown going on a small scale up in Humboldt. And like I said, it all ended with us opening up for Cypress. I learned that you can pay somebody with university money. So we paid them 5 G's for 20 minutes, 30-minute set or whatever, and paid their fucking travel expenses, everything.
Yeah.
Then on the back end, I got them like a couple pounds of the kind from up there. Got the girls and shit, and so they was loving it.
Yeah.
This was when they started their tour in 1992, when they
That was
first
the
started
first-
blowing up.
Their first album.
Yeah, exactly.
First album, 91.
Yeah, so I opened up with them. They even had Everlast was with
With
them.
Rhythm Syndicate.
Yeah,
The
so
Rhyme Syndicate.
Yeah.
Rhyme Syndicate.
they had
Shouts
me,
out to Ice-T.
They had me battle that fool backstage.
Oh, shit.
Ate him
I spit
up.
a little Spanish on that fool, and
Party.
yeah, I ate that fool up. And then they were like, "Oh man, you should come on tour with us, whatever." So I was like, "Man," and I was like, "You know what? I have my peoples back home." And then Carlos was telling me, "Oh, speaking of Rhyme Syndicate, that he was fucking with Ice-T."
Oh, shit.
And so he was like, "Dude, come back home. You know, it's popping off, this and that." So I told Cyrus, like, "Man, you know what? You know, I'm gonna catch up with you." And they're like, "All right, well, you need to get back home, get back to LA, because this is too small, or you know, whatever." And so yeah, I come back, and unfortunately, we were about to link with Ice-T when the cat we grew up in high school with, rest in peace, Cannon. He was a DJ.
His brother
was a
with
producer
Rhyme Syndicate.
in
And he
Rhyme
was like a
Syndicate.
producer and a
wow.
DJ with
All right.
Rhyme Syndicate.
So-
So he was working on beats for us. And
Dude, he came with
Yeah.
that fire ass beat
Is that the one that the party? That's that one song they had in Rhyme Syndicate.
in Rhyme
Yeah.
Syndicate.
Yeah.
He's the one producing that one.
Yeah, I
he
think
might
it's
have. I don't know.
possible.
They had a whole.
his
Cannon.
name was Keith, right?
Oh,
I
shit.
think so.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
So the homie Cannon was DJing. He introduced us to his brother producing. So we were actually probably about to blow right there. And then the homie Cannon, his day job was a tow truck driver, and he ended up getting killed. Like an 82-year-old man driving a Cadillac, whatever. He was hitching a car, hit him, and he ended up flying like 50 feet in the air and landed straight on his head.
Man.
Broke his neck, died instantly.
Oh,
His
wow.
brother was so fucked up over that shit. I don't think to this day he ever did.
Never
music again.
recovered.
No.
Really?
So that shit, that one single that we had, that would have been the fire that would have really set us off. Then it was squashed, you know. And so, you know, from that point,
1992 summer, baby.
yeah, we kept moving. You know, then our little brother,
We went to UCLA. We went to go party at UCLA.
Yeah.
We had a good time. But then we ended up going again to party at the Gaslight. I don't know if y'all remember the Gaslight over in Hollywood. She used to be a little underground, like, little club or whatever. But we in that motherfucker, like, you know, getting our groove on, chilling. And me and him on the dance floor, you know what I'm saying? We were fucking freestyling, rhyming with each other, and see these crew of cats with camouflage on. I'm thinking they're Onyx. I'm like, yo, look, it's fucking Onyx, yo. Because remember, Onyx came out rocking the camouflage.
Yeah.
So and rest in peace to Jam Master Jay again, because that was his group. And I'm like, yo, look, it's fucking Onyx. And we on the dance floor, you know what I'm saying? We rhyming and shit, freestyling back and forth. And all of a sudden, fucking Buckshot Shorty
Oh, shit.
comes fucking walks up to us like, yo, what's up? Buckshot Shorty. I'm like, yo, yeah, you got the joint Black Moon. That was his first single.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we all in the cypher on the dance floor
Yeah.
fucking rhyming.
Damn.
It's crazy shit, yo.
So from there,
Like,
did that keep you going though?
dude,
Keep
that
you
was
guys,
even
like the whole music.
yo. That right there
Yeah.
was very fucking motivating of inspiration. Like to hear his shit on the radio a year later,
Yeah.
blowing the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause it was
Like
that time.
major, he blew up.
That one time. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we was on the dance floor with this dude rhyming. Like, we got the same fucking shit he
no
got.
shit.
And like, it's a trip because in 92, or was it like 94, I think? 92, between 94, we was in progress of getting signed with a single deal with Capitol, but then they stopped the hip-hop division.
What?
Yeah.
Around 94. What was happening around that time that made them think they do that? That's what
94, that's when shit started changing.
That's
Yeah.
that's the end of grunge and it all got.
Yeah, that's when alternative music started
Alternative
really
music blew
taking
up.
over.
And,
Alternative music, hip hop started going because they migrated NWA in, and that's what happened. The positivity of hip hop. Remember, it was all black medallions, peace sign. It was a
yes.
universal
Yes, okay.
music was in progress,
Yeah.
and them motherfuckers was like, they getting too fucking aware. We got to stop this shit. All of a sudden, NWA was popping up,
Yeah.
and we from the ghetto, so we love that shit.
Yeah. 'Cause that's,
But the industry was like, here we go, right here.
That's our money maker.
And that's what they did. They pushed that shit in front of Public Enemy.
That's true.
And it changed the dynamic to where now they figured out we could fucking flip it back. And now they doing what they doing now with the music.
Yeah.
Because of the NWA migration and stop the positivity mental third eye is closed. Then they figured out the fucking bass. They went deeper on the bass. And motherfuckers is not understanding about their chakras and shit.
Did you holler at them about Jeb 1?
No, I ain't even went into our little brother.
So why don't we take a quick little break right now? And,
Yeah.
Yeah, because I gotta go see a man about a horse.
That's what's up.
Yo, them say I the land of the free, and the home of the brave. What am I talk? I lie to my lie. Saying I with the blood clot I do them. I must say ramp, they want ramp. I strip it, them strip it. Black and brown, in the cut, I drop it. Seeing? None of the free, not giving the one. Systematically giving the sum. Home of the brave, soldiers who won. Every day surviving the sum. Bringing the 90s to come with the pounds. Kilos in the cup with the sound now. We showing no frowns, just holding it down, so spread it around. They gather around, cause back in brown is breaking it down.
Time has come for our people to rise up. Wake up and open your eyes up. Look, the bombs bursting in air. Gave proof through the night that the war was still there. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Does the star stringer banner still wave? Time has come, everybody. This land wasn't free, it was built on the backs of the slaves. Government is man-made, political, analytical hand grenade. Who governs the government? The governors up for relevance, playing on our intelligence. We got rhymes like they got excuses. Don't refuse this, just get used to this. The only excuse for you is your self-inflicted mental abuses.
It's supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Still modern day slaves, just not living in huts and caves. If you're misbehaving up in the grave, it's supposed to be land of the free, home of the brave. Land of the free, home of the brave. Land of the free, home of the brave. Land of the free, land of the wounded, slaves and the chief. When we were kings, we didn't have beef. Exchanging tools and beads, healing teas and leaves the opiates to breathe. Deeper than the shadow needs to bleed. Shackled to your heart, I won't wear a tie unless it's in the slave's memory. American born indigenous territory, a cemetery war call of liberty. And I still don't see this mentality of liberty. Supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave. Still living in a cave like a slave. If you misbehave, you might end up in the grave.
The land of the free enterprise and the wage slave. Open your eyes and stay played. The poor get poorer while the rich stay paid. Your employer takes multiple vacays just to get away. Have to use up all your sick days. It's sick in these days and times. Take yours to get mine. They find minerals, the land gets mine. Destroying the vistas while the government just does what it do. Sells out its own mother, sisters, and brothers. So we set landmines. Get him swinging while he punches our landmine. Strike a blow to the corporate Goliath. Standing alone, each a David together and a woke giant.
So we left you with a song, and this song is featuring the homie Darkside 90042.
Rest in peace.
You know, the king of Southeast LA, man. Rest in peace,
Representing
man.
Nila.
Yeah, he was a legend and teacher.
A dope teacher.
Hip Hop Congress, one of the founders of Artists United and Homeless, which
he
we're
taught
part
right
of.
down the street, in fact, yo,
Yeah.
right there
Yeah,
at the high school,
Yeah.
right there. Was that Santa Fe right there?
Yep.
Yeah.
He taught there for like years.
Engaging.
So yeah, a song that we recorded with him is called "Land of the Free, Home of the Brave."
It's supposed to be the title.
Supposed to be the land of the free.
The concept
home of the
is
brave.
it's supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, but we still modern day slaves, just not living in Hudson Caves. But if you misbehave, you can end up in a grave, or you might end up getting paid.
Yeah. So Dark Side is featured on that song,
and it's actually a remake because we did the original. If you check out our album on all the internet radio
links that
platforms,
we shot. Yeah, we're on
we
iTunes,
have an original one,
Spotify, Amazon.
and it's a couple of our other brothers.
The Birth of a Movement.
So we did a redo with
Dark
Darkside and our brother C1 from Hubwise Gallery.
No, that was the homie Raw. Brothers on the Block is C1.
Oh yeah, my bad.
And we also shot you guys that song, so you know those are two songs right there.
What you guys said there kind of reminded me of Zach De La Rocha when he said, he said, "The land of the free. Whoever told you that was your enemy."
Right. That's real
shit.
shit.
And as he says that, I keep telling people that's our mesh. It's Rage Against the Machine.
Yep.
KRS-One.
Yep.
Public Enemy. Tribe Called Quest. That's like the mesh of what we represent. And of course, you know, NWA because we're from the West Coast. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's Cypress. So it's like everything that we bring is going to enlighten you, make you think about some shit. But it's all about really, you have to open your mind up and be conscious of what the fuck is really and what we are. And you know, too many of our people walking around there on that bullshit.
Okay, look, before we
I'm allergic to it. You know,
during the break, me and my brother, we was talking, my brother Denk, right?
Reminiscing.
Mad Verbals, Mad Scientist, Marcus Janae Jones, all that good shit.
Yeah.
We was sitting here talking about the origins of the movement, and, you know, we go way back, we're a little bit older. And so I was blessed to manage Warehouse Records on La Brea and Rodeo. We were involved, you know, with a lot of the, you know, artists at the time. I was telling you how 2Mex used to come to the store, ask me to play his shit. I would play it.
Montel Jordan.
You know, Ralph M. the Mexican, you know what I'm saying, would come through. I would play Funk Dubious.
He played all that shit.
92.3 The Beat would come through with their van.
This kid right here
I just spoke
was a real hip-hop for the people before hip-hop for the people existed. He gave the people that had underground music, they wasn't getting opportunity. He played all that shit back at the warehouse.
Dude, I haven't heard
gave
somebody
them a shot.
I haven't heard somebody say Funk Dubious in so fucking long,
Son
man.
Doobie.
I thought I was the only one that knew about Funk Dubious.
I just spoke to Ralph M.
Delinquent Habits.
Try to get him on.
He was just at the Radiotron.
I was telling him that day. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get you, and he's like, yo, hit me up. Give me his new number because he changed his number. So
let us know, man.
Try to get him in, man.
For real. That album, Delinquent Habits, that was the shit.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
That shit was fire.
So shouts out Mark Love, you know, all the old school Medusa, you know, Taquan MC, you know, Freestyle Fellowship,
Carmelo
Alvarez,
Radiotron founder.
That was a bomb ass show, man.
It was.
This year was good, but last year was fucking way more fire.
So the story with the warehouse, we were talking about, they had the block party behind. It was a shopping center, you know, what they call strip mall, whatever. Had the huge parking lot in the back, you know. So they called the block party, and they would have 92.3 The Beat out there hosting it. They'd have artists coming, you know, performing. Exhibit was out there, the Alcoholics at the time. And so my little brother was 16 at the time, and he was
just came down from Seattle.
Yeah, he just came down from Seattle, Washington. He was staying with my mom up there, but I introduced him to a street promoter I met. His name was Mike Nixon, N5.
N5. Shout out to Mike Nixon.
Mike Nixon and N5 Promotions. And so from age 16 to 18, he was doing the street promotions, and he got to a point where he ended up leaving Mike and doing his own thing with some other younger brothers. And he was promoting for about 15 different labels.
Lockdown. That was the
Lockdown Promotions.
That's what they was calling that.
And they used to hit up like La Brea, the Hill. Like all the light poles and stuff.
Post no bills.
Yeah.
Just posting like a mother.
Yep.
You
They
see
used
the
to climb
whole
that
light
shit.
I remember that, man.
pole.
I remember those days.
The low light pole be
It's
stickered
called
up.
guerrilla
Yeah.
marketing.
Yep.
And that's what they did. They would go out to high schools and pass out singles. They'd be at
Word on Wheels. They would
concerts
set up little
with
displays.
picket signs
and-
for the artists that they were promoting shit. And so, yeah, my little brother was doing his thing, and he was actually, we talked about what was it? We talked about Canon, and that whole thing when that that blew up. So the next chapter was my little brother. He in the mid '90s, the main label that he promoted for was Loud Records.
He was hitting the street so hard.
So Loud Records had the Licks, Exhibit on the West Coast, and they had like Big Pun, Wu-Tang. Fat Joe on the East Coast, and then it was Black and Brown. And so my brother gravitated to this label, and it was two Jewish brothers, the Rifkins, and shouts out to the Rifkins, Steve Rifkin in particular. They gave my brother an opportunity, and he promoted for them major, and to the point where
Priority Records won him. They recruited him. They was
did.
recruiting
They
him.
did.
He actually had one of them gala events where all the MCs or all the big artists. He was at the round table with Russell Simmons, Redman, all the Def Jam.
Yeah, he came home.
He came
with,
home and brought us a gang of
filet
prime
mignon
ribs.
and,
filet mignon and
Bobby
lobster
Young,
tails.
Curry on and shit. Dude, Reebok was sponsoring them. They was bringing home shoes.
Yeah, we used to get all kind of shit.
Pele.
Oh
man. And this is my two little brothers, and they're like 5 and 7 years younger
Pepe
than me.
jeans,
They
y'all
was
remember
balling.
Pepe jeans?
Yeah.
We had all that shit for free, yo. Courtesy to our little brothers.
Yeah, so
Street,
Russell Simmons
guerrilla
called him
street market.
#1 street promoter on the West Coast.
Damn.
And unfortunately, he was murdered.
Red
in
Man,
1997.
all them motherfuckers' albums blew up because of our little brother.
Oh, wow.
Straight
So
up.
he was
Without his
murdered
street promoting,
in
that
1997.
shit wouldn't have been shit.
He actually had picked up Big Pun at the airport that day and drove him around to radio stations doing his interviews and stuff. So they ended the day. It was
USC
nighttime
radio.
at the USC radio station. And Big Pun was freestyling. And to this day, rest in peace, Big Pun, because he came out in a Details magazine article, I want to say a year later after my brother passed, and felt bad because he freestyled overtime that night up to like 2 in the morning.
So they went later than they were.
Yeah.
Shit, but that was fun. That was fun for you, though.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was
So it
bad.
wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
He wouldn't have
so-
been there.
Right. So my brother went home with one of his friends, and he was on the freeway. He had an apartment off of Western and Santa Monica Boulevard in Hollywood. They were on the 101 Hollywood freeway, and
Right at Catalina Boulevard.
he used to tell my mom, and I didn't know about this till after he passed. And my mom told me that he had dreams, premonition of,
His life.
being killed, and that these fools were chasing him in a red car, and it was a red Honda. These fools were on the freeway, and so the brother, his boy that was driving him home was a brother, darker brother, whatever, and was wearing a football jersey, whatever. So
He's in the passenger
come to
seat
find
sleep.
out, it was MS. It was a gang initiation. It was just like kill
Random
a
black
black
people
person, you know what I mean, to get into the gang. And so they targeted the driver, and so the driver said that this was on the freeway. So they pulled
the
up on him on
101.
the side on the freeway, and the driver was like looking, and they're throwing signs and shit. And so he's telling my brother, "Hey, these fools are tripping." My brother's half asleep. He's like, whatever. So then fool just drove off, sped off. And so he said they caught up to him again. And this time when he looked, he saw the gun pointing out the window. And so he tries to speed off again. And as he's speeding off, he ducks. So they get off one shot that goes through the driver's window behind
Right
his
behind
head,
his head and hits
to
our
my
little
brother's
brother.
head in the passenger seat.
He
One
was asleep.
shot. One shot, he was dead. He was gone, brain dead. He pulled off the freeway and body still breathing. It was all on the news and shit. And but yeah, my brother he was trying to do this Smash the Beef tour. So he was trying to do East Coast, West Coast artists and Black and Brown artists, and trying to put them all on this one, go around the nation doing this tour. And we were supposed to open up for this tour. So when my brother passed, obviously the tour fell apart. But shouts out to, like I said, the Rifkins. They paid for my brother's services. His service was like an industry event. I mean, artists, DJs, execs, producers.
Yeah, it was a pretty big turnout for him.
Yeah, so that was like the next chapter of the movement where, you know, we would have, could have, should have been somewhere and shit didn't happen, you know what I'm saying?
We wasn't supposed to be in that fucking
Obviously.
riff-raff of that
Obviously,
industry.
because we believe everything happens
We
for a
ain't
reason.
never selling out. We ain't never being agents. We agents for
Too short.
ourselves.
Too
Black
short.
and brown movement. What he said?
Too short.
What's my motto? You can sell it out if you want to, homie. But I'm going to keep it short and funky.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Just
hey,
it's just amazing what the dumb initiation fucking could change
Yeah.
so many
Funky.
fucking things, you know?
yeah.
I mean, just one fucking round fired fucking took your brother out. You know, that's amazing.
So
dude. It's just-
real quick, I'm gonna keep this one real quick because this is ironic and it all ties in. I have to tell it the story. The detective who this was Rampart Division, and we all know about
Rampart's
Division.
corrupt as shit.
Right.
For everybody that
Right.
doesn't know LA.
Right, right. So the lead detective was from Rampart Division, was on my brother's case. He came to our door when we lived up there in El Sereno, and he's like, "Hey, I'm the lead detective on your brother's case." He's like, "I'm gonna do everything I can to, you know, bring justice for your brother." So I didn't hear from this fool again for like 6 months. 6 months later, he comes back, and he's like, "Hey."
Confirmed
We-
that it was
we
them
got them.
fucking dickheads.
He's like, we got them. They're all convicted. I don't even want you going to court. Don't worry. They all got life. It was like, oh, it was like, fuck, you know, if they did anything right in Rampart Division, they did that. You know what I'm saying? So years later, my grandfather's funeral, me and my mom are sitting there, and this lady walks up to us, and we didn't know who she was. Come to find out, she was my grandfather's niece. She happened to be the wife of the lead detective on my brother's case.
Oh, shit.
So she tells us it was her husband who was the lead detective on the case, and she found out because he saw my mom's name on the report that said Montemayor. And he's like, he told his wife, he's like, "Isn't that your uncle's name?" Whatever. She's like, "Yeah, but I don't know her." So they pieced it all together, and years later, it was like, you know, so
Damn.
6 degrees of separation. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
really.
Small world, crazy shit.
Yeah,
happens,
man.
You know?
That's just real.
So that was chapter 3, and then chapter 2, and then chapter 3,
Top of the hill.
Jerry Anderson.
Quinte Soul
Rest
recorded
in
their
peace.
first album at our house.
Yeah.
Oh,
What happened there?
15-piece band.
Oh wow.
We done
Fucking
moved-
upright
our whole living
bass
room,
in
we had to clear out.
in the bathroom with all the pillows and blankets in
Oh,
the
shit.
fucking tub. And we had the
Old
horn
school.
section in the living room.
We
had
sitting
drums in the
sitting
fucking-
outside on
in
our
the
couch chilling,
studio.
Damn.
blowing weed while they recording.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shouts
Shouts
out
out
to
to Vince
Vince
Wong.
Wong. Yeah,
Yes,
he
you
was
guys
the
He was the producer of
Producer and
of
the
some of the
engineer.
tracks.
yeah.
that must have been something to fucking see, dude.
Yeah, that
creative
I trip out to
process.
this day. Like
Man,
we was at 5-Star Bar doing a show one night. We performed in Quinte Soul. Their manager was there. I was like, "Yo," and he was like, "Dude, you guys recorded?" Or he was like, "What?" And it was just like, you know what I'm saying? That whole month, I love that
Those
shit.
are
'Cause it was
mine.
like, it's fucking great shit, man. To be able to be involved with, you know what I'm saying, real people that do real music and not just caught up in this industry for the
Would
glamour and glitz
Yeah.
of the shit.
Where you guys perform at when you guys had those spots where you back in the day? What
The
spots
knitting,
that-
the knitting factory,
Oh, okay.
Hollywood,
Yeah, we rocked the
No
Knitting
longer
Factory,
around, but it was a good spot.
Project Blowed,
5-Star
shit.
Battle
Bar.
Shots. Shouts out
Nice.
to Joey Jones, Enough One.
Rest in peace, little brother.
You know, little brother.
We rocked the Doghouse out in West Covina.
Oh shit.
Yeah, all the underground spots, man.
Our very first performance was downtown at the Variety Arts Center.
Yeah.
I believe that's.
Shit.
I had a fucked up toothache, like massive. Like when I say massive, I'm in the.
He's doing all this shit right before we go on, and then I'm like, dude, I mean, what? He's like, fuck, don't worry. He's doing all this shit.
Take your
and
bike, get in the shit.
Whatever.
None of
whatever he had
that.
to do.
Somebody gave me a Tylenol or some shit, but that shit, none of that shit worked.
We got on
But
stage
none.
and rocked that shit. What was the other? We did the comedy store. That
Comedy
was the
store, that was-
showcase.
shit.
Shit.
That's my shouts out to Townsend. He was the host.
Yeah.
But
damn.
it was a trip because right before our set, one of our buddies was one of our homeboys was there, and his baby mom was there, and she was wilding out.
This fool body
this nigga-
slammed the shit out of her, dude,
Ooh.
backstage. And he was like beating the shit out of her.
Basically, he
Whoa,
stopped.
why?
Basically,
Whoa, what
she got-
happened here? What?
Right before
Basically,
we're going on, we were
she
like,
was doing too much yakking too close,
Yeah.
and she got a 1-2 in a biscuit, and yeah, she was laying on the ground fucking out.
yeah, laid
And
out.
we were sitting there,
Unconscious.
right-
Unconscious.
literally unconscious,
We're like-
right before our set, and
We're
we're
about to
sitting
go
there,
on, homie. Like, what are you
and
doing
we're like,
right now? Like,
we're in shock mode, like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
so that was the one where we did
So
the
we-
skit.
Oh,
Right before.
Okay.
So we had to
Hey,
recover,
speak on
like
that skit, man. Speak on that skit.
we had to
You're telling me-
recover, like, because we were backstage, fucked up, like,
Yeah.
dude.
So the skit was
What the fuck?
he's stage left, I'm stage right. Then we had a homie in the middle of the stage, and so our
We're
skit
doing
was,
we're doing racial slurs to
yeah.
each other.
So we come running up.
Mexican,
We
black,
run up on each other in the
African.
middle of the stage. And
So
I'm like,
we're, slanging
like,
them.
Fuck you, nigger. Fuck you.
Fuck you, fucking
Black
wetback.
motherfucker,
We know we're
like,
slinging
fuck
all
you,
of
spick
it.
and beaner.
We're giving it to
And the
them
crowd,
real.
and like we're like acting
Everyone
like
in
we're
the
about to
crowd-
fight it, and the
They're
crowd
looking
is
like, what the fuck? And so when we run towards each other, we know what we're doing,
Yeah.
but we look to the crowd. Everybody,
Some people were like, get like, we
I
gotta-
was
we
getting
gotta
ready to
fuck
run
outta
out
here.
the
What's going
fucking-
on? So the homie who was sitting on the stool in the middle of the stage,
Shout
he
out to
jumps
my man Kelvin,
Yeah,
Money K.
He
He out
jumps
in Arizona.
and he separates us. He's like, "Fool, what are you guys doing?" He's
You're not
like,
supposed to fight. You're supposed to unite. So then we
So
hit,
we're like,
we
drop
cued dude to
that
drop
beat.
the music, and he
Oh,
dropped the
man.
beat for our song called
our set.
"Representing,"
There you go.
where we come
Oh,
from.
So then people like
From
sat
the
down.
land of the
they're
lost,
like,
found a
okay,
concrete
all
jungle
right,
drum.
we're
Just
taking it
imagine that shit, man. People are like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, that shit was
What the
crazy.
fuck's going
That
on?
whole
was like,
night was
honey, let's
wild,
get outta here.
yo.
Yeah, no, I was like, I'm gonna start reaching out to the back door, dude.
So
Yeah.
check this though. After the performance, we of course we're watching the whole time we're performing. Our younger people they're sitting there like not jiggy enough. They're like, And
And
I'm
they
like,
wasn't feeling it.
I'm looking at them motherfuckers like, this some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But we still doing our thing.
Yeah.
But when we finish, the white people, the Asian people, and the other nationalities of European Caucasians, oh, black and brown movement, we love it. We love it. Good shit. I'm standing there like, what
But
the
our own
fuck?
people were just like wasn't feeling it.
But it showed us the international multicultural aspect of, and so we just ain't got a chance yet. But
Yeah, we
we
getting
got a brother in
overseas.
Brazil right now, and he been telling
Shouts
to
out
get us there.
Taz,
Shout out to brother Taz, DJ Amar,
Mansour.
and he out there DJing at right there outside of
Sao Paulo,
Sao
right?
Paulo at the beach at Baja, and shit. He be
yeah.
rocking. He be rocking all the tourist motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? But even we got access to get there. We just haven't been able to yet.
We ain't even spoke on the fact that we have a nonprofit, Movement Material Inc. It's about the
shit.
kids. You know, it's youth based.
We have a
Mentorship,
cheerleading
leadership.
organization.
We did a cheerleading organization that won
Was it five?
four national titles and a state title within like 5 years.
Oh damn.
Wow.
They won championship their first year
Oh
Right.
damn.
in
With
Vegas.
one team, with a team of like 5 girls, going up against like teams of
Squads.
20, 50, and
Yeah.
yeah.
got
So
it
we
down.
we did that, and we've done a bunch of events. Like you said earlier, we performed at the mayor's house, Getty House.
Oh yeah, we also rocked Miles Bar too.
Yeah, we've done some charity events, Malls Bar, 5-Star Bar.
The Banana Club in
And
Santa Ana.
I said all
shit.
that to say that the homie Taz in Brazil, he actually built or helped to build a composite youth center.
Yeah, all natural composite youth center out
shit.
there in Brazil,
Brazil.
with
And
they
with his
lose
nonprofit.
with they
He's-
lose
he's
Guerra,
a-
Guerra, that's the Capoeira organization.
Yeah, he's a capoeira master, and
Oh shit.
he's a brother from New York.
Yeah. Put
New
in
York,
work, man.
BIA, California,
He
black and
speaks
brown,
Portuguese
Brazil.
fluently.
Oh,
you know what I'm
fuck.
saying?
Crazy.
He's been back and forth to Brazil for years now. And,
Yeah.
we've worked with him and we've done plenty of things, music with him. Nonprofit.
We got a song coming out with him, Hip Hop for the
Hip
People.
hop for the people, titled for the gear and whatnot. But
Yeah. I guys
yeah,
put in
so-
some work, man.
yeah, it's a lot, man, we got a lot of shit going on. Dude.
So, what is your most memorable show to date?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Most memorable show to date, I would say with Taz. The show we did with Taz that
The
night.
5-Star bar.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
5-star bar.
That was dope. You know what it was? It was Movement Material Inc. It was
It was our little fundraiser, wasn't
it was a fundraiser show for
our
for
first
the-
fundraiser.
for our nonprofit. and the concept of the show was about
we had
the
a bunch
youth.
of
Our
youth performers.
nonprofit is about the youth.
So we had a bunch of young kids,
So my
16
son,
years old, and so
my son,
forth.
shouts out to my son Jawan Brox.
Bubba.
He found this kid from San Diego who was, I think, 15 at the time, 15, 16.
Jay
Jay
Allen.
Allen, shouts out to Jay Allen. And he gave, he found him online. He liked his music. He's like, showed us the music. He was like, okay. And then
The kid came
told
up
him about
from
the
San
show.
Diego, came to our
He
fundraiser.
communicated with
Oh,
him,
shit.
and he got him to come up from San Diego. Another cat that I grew up with in high school, his son was rhyming at the time, and so he, we put a filler out there for. So he's like, hey, check my son out. And I checked him out. I was like, he's got some good shit. So he was in, I think, Moreno Valley. So they came from Moreno
Bonnie
Valley.
Blue
All to
performed at our
downtown,
fundraiser.
5-Star Bar, if you don't know, is off of
Foxy,
Main Street.
Yeah.
Like
Foxy
Main and
One
Third or
performed
whatever.
at our fundraiser.
Yeah. So we had some like, headliners, some underground heads,
Our
whatever.
boy Darkside, rest in peace.
Yeah, he was
also
there.
rocked our
He
fundraiser.
rocked the stage, the homie Taz, and of course we did our thing. And Circle of Sound, shouts out, Circle of Sound, some
Yeah.
Christian hip hop brothers from the Orange County, from the OC.
Our boy Frog.
Yeah,
Frog One.
Yeah, so they performed, but the concept was about the youth. So we had all these acts like that we mentioned, but we had about 3 or 4 youth acts who were really headliners.
Yeah.
And we kind of sprinkled them through the show and was really, pushing them and giving them an opportunity to shine.
Shouts out to Owen and Now too,
Owen
the
and
collective.
Now.
I
5-Star
heard a
bar.
rumor about the 5-Star Bar that might be closing down. You guys hear anything about that?
No.
I just heard that the whole area's being developed.
Gentrification
Yeah.
bullshit.
You guys hear anything about that at all?
Had
Nah,
not yet.
you just
Nah.
gave
I
me
heard
the
about
pers-
it.
Yeah, because I took some pictures of some band about a year ago, and the owner, not the owner, but the guy working behind the bar was like, yeah, we might be closing down, kind of a thing. They're trying to throw more shows out there.
I don't know if you guys have heard of Do It for the Music.
That's
The
Owen.
homie
Owen Martinez.
Yeah,
Shouts out, happy birthday too, brother.
Yeah, I hit him on Facebook, but they he had just reconnected with them and started doing some new stuff with them. I haven't heard yet.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's a beautiful spot, dude.
It is.
I love that spot, man.
It's like intimate, you know what I'm saying? Small venue.
Yeah,
Downtown.
The bar, you got the couple little pool tables and the dope stage, and
you know what's the best
You
part?
got the upstairs little area to smoke and chill.
And there's parking there, dude. Fucking right next door, man.
Yeah.
That's the main fucking thing for me.
Yeah.
It's a trip as you say that because that bar right next door is the first LGBTQ club downtown.
Yep.
I tripped off that shit when we performed back 2012. Like, yo, trip that shit, yo. And that shit was crazy. And the funny shit is that night we rocked the 5-Star Bar and did all that shit. We was on our way home. We got pulled over.
Here we go with this one.
We got pulled over by the motherfucking cracker ass police. On some racial profile shit.
Nah, fuck the fact that we got pulled over. They pulled us over and
then
they fucking rammed
They
us.
gave us the roller coaster bump.
The bitch
what?
it was a Ricky cop was trying to, this is my opinion.
I was trying to holler at the bitch.
She's trying to get out
She's
the car
driving.
before she put the car in park and fucking hit us from behind while I'm
she got
parked.
nervous.
I was driving.
Fuck that. Before that, the bitch was on the side of us.
Oh man.
I'm like, yo, what's up, Bonita? All of a sudden, them motherfuckers are squeezing in
So it's me,
behind
him,
us and hitting the lights.
and the homie Kiki Enrique, and then the other young brother. So it was like, me driving, whatever. Okay, as a cop, you might think I'm white, whatever. Then you see his black ass, and then another young.
The whole car was black and brown.
Another young, brother in the back, and then another young essay. You know what I'm saying? And so they're like, okay, what's going on
here?
Yeah, I'm driving a fucking 19
Intrepid.
Yeah, Dodge Intrepid, you know what I'm saying? And
Bullshit. We get pulled over. They ram into us. We're sitting there for hours. Because I'm like, this is bullshit. So we filed a complaint. Cops riding by, some cracker motherfuckers, they want to be laughing. I'm like, yeah, I watched this.
Yep.
Report
Talking
their
shit.
ass. It was just a fucked up situation that shouldn't even ever happen, but because, they're able to do whatever the fuck they want to do. And that's what happened that night. After we rocked the fucking mic, had a great night, great show.
So in
In
honor
fact,
of
that night,
NWA
I killed the
and all
fucking
of our black
freestyle
and brown
cipher.
peoples who dealt with them. Fuck the
like-
police.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
NWA, FTP all day.
Let me ask you guys. With everything that has been said, what drives you guys to create music? What's like the drive behind?
What's the motivation?
Yeah,
I would say love, man. Love
and peace
Love,
and unity, building the bridge so that there's less negativity and violence. Bob Marley made a proven point that music is the unity.
It's power.
The key
it is powerful.
Music is the key to peace in the whole world.
it is. It
You know what I
definitely
mean?
All our music is conscious, bro.
Yeah,
All our music has a message. You know, and for us, it's about content. You know what I'm saying? It's quality over quantity, you know. It's about, you know, the message in the music.
Yeah.
You know, and so
enlightenment.
What kind of
I
message?
mean,
People need to be
lyrically,
woke up.
What kind of messages?
Wake up.
positive, man.
About
You know, conscious. I mean,
Not being coconuts,
Yeah.
not being Oreos, but being about your culture, knowing what your culture is. Get educated on where you're coming from.
I mean,
know
we got a
who
song.
you are.
We got a song called Royalty. You know, royalty.
You know, the
There's
people
no
don't know who
royalty
they are.
without loyalty. There's no loyalty without royalty.
Yeah.
It's talking about, you know, who you are, knowing who you are. I got a song called Conspiracy Theories. I talk about the Denver airport and break it down in detail and every friggin', you know, conspiracy theory about it. How from the top, you know, of it, if you're looking at it from the top, you can see the swastika. You know, I researched and heard Queen Elizabeth has property not far from there. They have these underground
Caverns.
shelters and stuff, and you know, then you have the art and you know, the Masonic symbols and whatnot throughout the airport, and
They're in a fire hydrant.
that's just one verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we talk about you know, black and brown, you know, relations. We talk about
Giving
international,
praise to the
multicultural,
Almighty who blessed us with the gift to do what we
you know,
doing.
You know, we're not the most religious, but we are definitely spiritual.
Yeah.
We're not religious at all. That's just
Yeah.
politics.
Well, religion is man-made. Man's not perfect, therefore religion is not perfect. In our opinion, the only thing that's perfect in regards to that is spirituality.
Yeah.
So whatever, you know, that is to you, you know, or not, you know, but that's just how we feel about it. So we talk about that. You know, we talk about, you know, youth. We talk about
That's our main concept.
preserving
Our main focus is about the youth.
Yeah.
That's why we're fighting to open up
and
youth
preserving
centers.
our culture, preserving hip hop versus we have this whole thing. We have a problem with rap, like and trap, and it's like
It's
hip-hop,
commercialized.
You know, preserve
It's-
hip hop.
You guys are going into my next question. What do you guys think about this new rap trap?
There's a token
Select
bundle.
few. Yeah.
Like there's a small bundle of cats that are fucking like. I'm not really deep into the shit, but there's a few motherfuckers that I give some love. Like the Migos, the motherfuckers figured out a good gimmick. They figured out how to do some shit, but they actually, you know, when you listen to what they're talking about,
fire. A lot of the
they're
beats
talking
is
about
fire, you know.
they're talking about what's going on in today's time.
Yeah.
And so, my boy, shout out to Spec One. You know what I'm saying? Aspect Spec.
Oh shit.
He
Missing Pages crew.
He posted one day on Instagram. He's like, all you old heads out here being mad at these young kids getting their money and
do that.
he's like, stop being mad and hating on these young kids because you're looking for some inspiration and motivation from these young and you're not getting it. You should be figuring out a way to be that and do that on your own and not be hating.
Yeah,
And I had to have a moment of reflection like,
Yeah.
fuck, that's me. Let me go and listen to more of this shit. Because, like, 2 Chainz, the only shit that I like in his shit for real is That's Just Fire. That track, I was in the fucking pharmacy one day getting some weed, and I was like, I was like, yo, that shit is banging.
Between the nonprofit.
And then she's like, that's 2 Chainz. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
So, but then when I watched the show, he's smart. Businessman.
Oh, yeah,
He's
doing his
milking
thing.
these motherfuckers.
He's doing his thing.
He's the only motherfucker with a shoe at Louis Vuitton. That's their biggest selling merchandise.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at these young kids.
Very marketable.
You know, then you got kids like Childish Gambino that's fucking brilliant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's in a different category.
You know what I mean? So there's an upper echelon of these new kids that we give mad promise to. But then you got a bunch of these motherfuckers that's just
I think
bullshit bubblegum ass weenies.
one thing he'll agree with me on is that working with youth, when us coaching football and with the nonprofit, and just our own kids, you know, it's like and then us still being young at heart and just.
I'm a kid at heart.
You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
watch
like,
cartoons.
You got to
still.
talk to them in a language that they can understand.
I'm a child development behavior
You got to
social.
be on their level at some point. And
What he just said.
Just relate with them. You
in
know, like,
child
I've been there.
development.
You know what I'm saying?
They show you in child development when you're learning, you have to get on children's mental level.
Yeah.
So that means if they're this big, you can't stand over them this big.
Yeah.
Right.
It's intimidation. You're creating a fear process that you don't even recognize. So you have to get down on that level.
And we learn also from our elders of, you know, we learn positive things, you know, traditional wise and
Take
values
10
and
seconds and think
but we
before
also
you respond.
learn what not to do.
Yeah.
By their mistakes. And for me, I always say I don't fault them for it. I might not have condoned theirs or even younger generations, or I might not condone somebody's behavior, but what I want to try to do is understand it.
Not try.
You're right.
Try
not
leaves room for failure.
Attempt to understand it, and where is it coming from?
But we can't blame them though, man. You got to
Yeah.
think about the whole hip hop history. There's always been people flashing money and chains.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. No, I don't,
Just
I'm
to
not
get a
hating.
rep.
Not
Rest
only
in
that,
peace,
but
Guru.
think about. Okay, look at EPMD, business as usual. Every album was about
Fat
money,
Links.
business, and then you had Paid in Full. It's
Yeah,
all
because
about-
that
it's about
album was
money.
what? Business as usual?
Business as usual. Everything had to do with business. So we really can't blame them flashing. They had their influence.
But the problem
It's
is
always
they're
about money.
perpetrating. That's the bigger picture
Yeah,
of
yeah.
it. Most of them cats back then, they was doing shit.
Yeah.
These kids today is just fucking glamorizing and fucking lying on the mic.
Yeah.
We've been there. We've done that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
that's all they know. I mean, that's
what
all
they do.
know. And
That's what they're doing.
There's
But it's
always-
a facade.
Yeah.
But there's always been like shitty rap. There's always been shitty music from
For
the
real.
beginning of the time.
There's always been.
And there's always been great
we don't
artists.
talk about the
Listen.
90s. We have some shitty ass music
Listen.
in the 90s.
Hey,
People don't talk about that. There's
We
some good shit,
didn't
but we have some
realize
whack
until we sat
shit.
one day and listened to some shit.
Yeah.
And we we had more rap back then, dude.
Yeah, but
You got Das Effects. They was one of the best mumble rapping motherfuckers in the 90s, yo.
Nobody knew what the fuck they were saying. It just sounded dope.
the difference between music back then and now is that back then they did talk about money, but they talked about the struggle that they went through to make that fucking
sir.
money. Like Biggie talked about having to fucking hang out on street corners,
I was
making
that.
fucking
I was
selling
that.
drugs,
That's my song. I
doing
was that
shit.
kid.
All right, now you
At
have these
16.
rappers that just talk about having the money, but where the fuck did they get
Where'd
it?
it
They
come
don't talk
from?
about the
Yeah.
struggle
Yeah.
that it took
Because
them
they
to get
didn't.
there.
Look,
They didn't
they
do
might-
that struggle. They
look,
got that
look.
money from the
That's what
industry.
I'm saying.
Look what
Yeah.
happened with what's his name?
And not only,
Tekashi.
yeah.
I was
Tekashi
about to
6ix9ine.
say that a
So
minute ago.
he was trying to live up to. He was doing the shit backwards.
Yeah.
So he didn't do the shit to get to where he was.
None
and
of
then
these
started
rappers
rapping
did.
about it.
Yeah.
He started rapping about it. Then he felt like, oh well, fuck, I never done none of this shit. Let me go out here and try
Yeah.
and prove that I can do what I'm rapping
That
about.
I'm not a fucking studio gangster.
Now look at what's happening.
Now the motherfucker's in jail.
Whereas
But like
we-
you said, you can't. I think you said you can't be mad. You know why? I grew up seeing cats who did a bunch of bullshit growing up, and then later on in life they figured it out and got their shit together, right?
I know a bunch of brothers
I
that
was
that
the
did
opposite.
that did the street
I was
work,
the opposite, dude.
gang banging and hustling.
Partially
and now
thanks
they
to
doing
your
very.
ass.
They doing very. Hey, we gonna cover that one too. Let's cover that. And then they're doing big shit in the community. Shout out to my man Skip Townsend.
Yeah.
Second call. You know what I'm saying? If you know young brothers that's really thirsting for work, they have an electrician, fucking apprenticeship
Yeah.
for them to go and learn the electrician and get fucking jobs.
Yeah,
But a
get,
lot
get
of
at us, man, and on any of the social media, any of the links, man. We, nonprofit, music. You want to
Yeah.
get involved with Artists United and Homeless? That's
y'all
one
want
of our
some
big
custom gear
flights.
made.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you just want to talk. Whatever I'm saying, whatever, man. We got all
Hey,
kind of avenues.
we cover all that because, like me myself personally, I deal with depression every day. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. A lot of people out
Mental
there
health.
not keeping it real.
Yeah.
And I say to everybody
It's
every
taboo
day,
in our community,
therapy is good.
in the black and brown community.
People don't want to get therapy because they like, oh, I'm not talking to some motherfucker. Cut that shit out. You need to go talk to a motherfucker that's not your friend and family so they can tell you some shit you ain't never heard,
Gonna be objective,
which is the
yeah.
truth.
Yep.
My life coach, shouts out to Marilyn Jung. She has been God-given and a great inspiration because she's told me some different shit that I never would have really visualized on myself or for myself. Like the aspect she told me one day in my first session with her, she's like, "You're judging your mother," and your sister. And I'm like, "No, I'm not." But then she broke that shit down. I was like, "Oh shit, I guess I am judging them." And then she was like, "You have this expectation of your mother to be the mother that you grew up knowing. Shit changes." She was like, "If you plan to succeed, you need to get off that shit." Basically, she grabbed my pipe dream. She smashed that motherfucking crack pipe. Then she stepped on that motherfucker and did the squishy foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, but we're taught to, go to our parents when we're this, that, and other. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "You have to now be your own parent and loving of yourself." Man, I had 2 minutes of tears like a big-ass baby.
Yeah.
Because I was fucked up psychologically, like, what the fuck? But then when she said, "You want to succeed, you got to stop focusing on the bullshit your mom's doing because she's just going to be who she's going to be." And that shit changed a lot for me.
Yeah.
Like, I've expanded.
I mean, Willie
like
Lynch,
now I can have the fucking bullshit conversation verbally that I've had with my mom, and afterwards, I'm different. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Before,
you know what
I used to be all emotionally fucked up for about an hour or two, and she be going on with her day like ain't shit happened.
Hey, I just had a revelation. You know what the Latino version of Willie Lynch is? In my opinion, just a revelation I had.
No, I don't know.
It would be machismo.
Yes, and you always hear me say.
I don't know if anybody knows about Willie Lynch, the
Too
Willie Lynch
fucking
letters,
macho.
and I'll just make it real brief and simple. As far as the slaves go, Willie Lynch was somebody who taught slave owners how to control the slaves, and what it was you had to take out the head of the family, which was the man. You had to break him down, and if you break him down, then the family will fall. And so that's been going on, not only literally since the slave times, but
way before then.
Metaphorically afterwards, in taking away, jobs, education, the black man's ability to take care of his family. And so then when he's not there in the family, then you got the black single mothers, and then you have the angry black woman syndrome. And so this whole thing, on the black side. And so on the brown side, it wasn't the same thing per se. And this maybe might be somewhat self-inflicted or whatever, but my opinion, when it comes to Latino males, one of the biggest problems, and this is just me, what I've seen
man
growing up, and being Latino and seeing families and whatnot, machismo, you know what I'm saying? When it comes
the village
to
people,
it's
macho man.
How many dads, you know what I'm saying, especially old school, it was like mandatory to have a mistress. You know what I'm saying? And it was
whole nother family
the way shit was ran. And then like within the family, there was issues, and then there was like no discussion of it. You could have people who live in the same house
with
and not
grudges
talk to each
and
other
shit
for months.
like for years.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
this
that.
is just shit that I've dealt with and
months.
seen in Latino families, and it's like I kind of related, and that's where black and brown, man, we have too many.
But you can't say
similarities
months.
to
we got family right now,
Barrigas.
Them motherfuckers still got gripes.
Yeah.
And ain't talking to each other, and they live in the same damn
house,
20, 30 fucking years later.
Yeah.
It's crazy, yo.
Crazy
but
shit, man.
that is the point of therapy. Fucking
sometimes
family
it takes a
group,
stranger
whatever.
to set you straight, man.
He's the neutral person that he has no connection to you
A
as
mediator.
a person.
All right, so
Exactly. So he gets to tell you the honest truth. My pastor said to us, real friends tell you the shit you don't want to hear.
Yeah. No, that's true, because your friends and family are gonna
Candy coated.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to hurt your feelings. They want to be your friend at the end of the day. A therapist just wants to get their fucking check and set you straight.
Yeah.
She wants you to be better.
Mechanic.
If they really care, they really put in the work to let you know, hey, this can be that.
That's the oath they took.
You have to make these changes inside yourself.
So what advice can you give these youngsters coming up in music?
The first thing,
study,
research, but you have to learn how to forgive your parents for whatever mistakes they made. If your father wasn't in your life, if your mother wasn't in your life, if your parents might have been drug addicts, whatever, forgiveness is the key
Yeah.
to really
'Cause
succeed.
more than likely, they're
to
going to end up having
succeeding in
kids.
life.
And then what kind of parent are they going to be?
To really
Exactly.
succeeding in life,
Exactly.
forgiveness,
It's generational, man.
and then breaking
It's
the,
called
the legacy
generational
curse.
curses.
All right, I have
You
a
got to break the legacy curse.
Yeah.
That means when you see this shit's fucked up,
Somebody
to
got to
figure it out
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't
to
keep
make it
doing the
better.
same shit over and over. Is the definition of insanity. Expecting a different result. You know what I
So
mean?
I have a question about music for y'all.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the new shit, you know, like there's memes about it and shit like that. You know, back in the day, you know, all the music was about dealing drugs. The new music is about doing drugs. So it's like, and everybody's like, why is everybody now rapping about doing drugs? And it's because it came from the generation that talks about dealing them.
Yeah.
So we're dealing now with the fucking kids that bought the fucking drugs off of
Epidemic.
them, you know?
Right.
So based upon that, how does it stack up to you? Do you like the music that's about doing them or about slanging
nah,
them?
I don't
Neither.
like
Is it
none
about
of
being
it
on the
Neither.
block?
because
But that's what it's ruled by.
No, true. It's true.
It's all negative, okay? And we
And
as
we used to.
we as the
we sold
culture
drugs,
of
you know what
black
I'm saying?
and brown, we come from too much negative shit. So our young generation, they don't need to incorporate that, be forced to incorporate that into their mental lives and their physical lives. So we're not really about that. We did it. It wasn't like, all right,
Look,
fuck it.
No.
We're getting ready
I'm
to
not,
do this.
I know you're enlightened now. I'm talking about the mentality you had back then
The
when
men-
you got into the game.
The mentality I had back then and what he told
It
you.
was
That's-
survival.
I was
It was
serving.
hustle.
That's
I was
what I want to
hustling.
hear.
Yeah,
I'm a hustler
That's where
still.
we came from.
Hustle don't never
And
stop.
then, so us sitting here listening to like them talking about doing drugs, it's like
We did all that shit. I
yeah,
did
yeah.
blow.
I mean, we did our share. Of
I
drugs.
did acid.
Nobody-
I did shrooms.
Nobody rapped back then. Like earlier you were talking about, oh yeah, then we got acid. I was like, oh shit, they got fucking down because they fucking busted some acid. But you're talking about the acid program.
I did. We did.
You know what I mean?
I bought a sheet of acid.
I was like, oh shit,
At the,
they
at the
busted
last
acid.
Grateful Dead
Oh,
concert.
we did our
at
share
the
of acid.
Coliseum.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to Humboldt
Had a
State
whole-
for 2 years
Yeah.
out of high school.
But yeah, when I heard him say, yeah, then we got acid, I was like, oh shit, they got acid, and then they started flowing some dope shit. Nah, you motherfuckers are talking about the program
Right,
acid
right,
to
right,
record on,
right,
you know?
right,
And
yeah.
it totally caught me off
Well,
guard because,
but
you
it's
know,
okay because we was fucking with acid.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
with
You know,
acid.
They had a Grateful Dead concert at the sports arena.
Yeah.
I remember what year it was, but we went there, dude.
It was the
Just
year.
out-
It was the year of
Jerry
the soccer
Garcia.
World Cup.
We brought some
92.
acid
It was the
from
year
some
of
of
the
the
World Cup.
hippies
I think it
that
was
were just
92.
outside. Oh my goodness, like crazy
We
shit.
got a half. We got
So
a
wait.
half a sheet.
Yeah,
Half a
and that
sheet.
shit was good.
Half a sheet of tabs.
Then when we was in Whittier,
then we got like a
fucking
quarter
around with
pound of
Dogtown,
weed.
These fools sold us some shit that was laced with like strychnine or
Oh my God.
PCP or some shit.
Worst ever
Fucking
fried
the
trip
worst
ever.
3-hour fucking trip of ever. Like we're locked in our house, our apartment.
Lights out and shit. We're in the
midday,
dark.
Sunny. We couldn't see.
Nobody
the
could wear red because
It had
that
to be
shit was
blacked out.
devilish.
Red was. Dude, my brother was in his room. The TV was static. We're like, no, poltergeist.
Crawling
This
on the
fool's on the
fucking
toilet,
walls.
like, I'm trying to take a shit, but I can't. And the tiles are
Floor
moving.
was moving. I could see
Dude,
the skeletons
That
in my
was the
face.
worst 3-hour trip.
That shit was fucking
Fear and Loathing in L.A.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
straight up.
So, you
That's
know,
dope. That's
Actually,
dope.
it's Fear and Loathing in Norwalk, Whittier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we've
That's
had our
dope.
share, you know. But yeah, I mean, you know, I would say one person I would mention is Killer Mike. I don't know how many people out there know about him, but this young brother, man, he is super intelligent and he's really trying to
He's
make
not
some moves.
trying.
My bad. He's making efforts to get people to change their mindsets about certain things. And when you mention that about doing drugs and the comparison of selling drugs and doing drugs,
Yeah.
my thing is, you know what? Do whatever drugs you want to do. Make your music, make your money. We was selling drugs. We was making our money doing
But
what
we
had to
never
do.
lost
We
concept of
was
who we
surviving
were.
or whatever. But the
and
thing
what
is,
the
business.
bigger picture.
Yeah.
There's no reason
You know-
why our people are out here, and he says it all the time, struggling the way we are.
Yeah, but back then, when it came to MCs that, you know, would go out there, go on the streets and sell some shit, is because it took that money to get their fucking mixtape.
Yeah,
you
to
know,
get into the
recorded
studio.
and to put that shit out
As
there.
I told you earlier,
And
he was
with-
hustling.
without-
I was the guy-
shooting
I
us
was the
money to
guy
get to the
shooting them.
studio. Like,
Yeah, without that hustle,
Yeah.
that mixtape would have never been fucking made.
that's
There
real
would have
shit.
been no fucking money. And, you know, sometimes people don't want to fucking hire
Because
their
I guess
ass,
what?
you know.
I wasn't doing McDonald's at 3:35.
yeah.
Because I had a couple
So,
of brothers that
you
did.
make
They
your
came home
mixtape,
like
you know, and then you
170
get to a
after
certain
80
level,
hours.
then
Like,
you leave
what
that
the
shit
fuck is
alone
that?
and you move on, and now you won't take that money and now you got legal money, and now you flip that shit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's what it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And people, you know, you talk about what do we want to give the message to the kids?
Yeah.
Learn about fucking credit.
Mm-hmm.
Don't fuck your credit up at an early age.
Man.
Build your credit.
For real.
Buy properties. Invest in businesses. You know what I'm saying?
Start you a nonprofit.
Fucking health insurance.
You know, and with nonprofits, we learned the best way to fund our nonprofit is on our own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't go to the fucking government. Fuck the government.
We started this shit
we're
on
all
our own.
competing for bids and
Yeah.
all this shit. You know what I'm saying? No.
We ain't made a
Somebody
bunch out
told
of
me,
our
said,
shit
go out
yet,
and make
but
your own
we
money
built
and
a
then fund your
bridge.
nonprofit to do
All
whatever
right.
the fuck you want to do.
What are some MCs that you guys have liked that you think have stood the test of time? Like people that have come through. I mean, I think Snoop has pretty much
KRS-One.
I
KRS-One.
think
Look,
he's number one for us.
KRS-One. He has a special place in my fucking heart. I told you
My
guys that
dude.
story.
Yeah.
One of my
He
inspirators.
still plays $5 fucking shows
Yeah.
I've been to we've been to
Observatory.
3 of them motherfuckers.
at the observatory.
Santa Ana.
I was there and he shut down the fucking place. He's
Shut
like,
it down.
they want me to shut up. He's
Yeah.
like, and he told his
And then
son.
he did the
Yeah.
Mexico. He did shit about
Yeah.
the Mexicans.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Right.
his son is
Trump.
his fucking DJ. His son was DJing for him that
I
night.
didn't even notice that shit.
Yeah.
Yo.
That was his own son DJing for him at
We
the
tell him,
show
slow
at
it
the
down.
observatory.
Slow it
And
down.
yeah. He was all like, "All right, all you motherfuckers." He's like, "The fucking management right here is telling me to shut the fuck
Then
up."
he called all the b-boys on
Yeah,
stage.
I was there.
Yeah.
He was on the
Yeah,
stage.
They had the vape shit for the
Dude,
THC
I
vape
threw
shit on the
I
side.
threw my ex lady on stage and she got some shit signed her fucking ticket.
Yeah.
He was getting all the fucking
Did
records.
you got on the stage
That was
and
it. We
you
were at
bust
the
some
same
moves on the
show.
stage, yo. Then you get on stage and
Yeah.
break.
No, I didn't break dance. I didn't.
Okay,
I
I'm
didn't.
okay.
But
there was a gang of
yeah,
old
You've seen
heads.
the breakdancers
There were,
though.
Old white
he
dudes.
We were at the
B-boy.
same show.
Look,
We
look,
were at the same
watch,
show.
check
Shit.
this out. And one B-boy went up and they threw him off the fucking
Because he
stage.
sucked.
And no, he was good, but he went up before KRS-One said, "Come
Yeah,
up,"
yeah,
and
yeah,
then he
yeah.
was like trying to get him back up, and they had a fight that started at the front of the fucking stage. I was right by the front, like on the sides,
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
sidelines,
Crazy.
you know.
They grabbed that shit up real
Dude,
quick,
one
though.
of our first live podcasts was at one of those shows.
He said-
shouts out to Shinehead and
Oh, Pablo.
yeah, DJ
Yeah,
Papalo.
but that day, KRS-One said the management wants me to stop. I don't give a fuck if I
He
get
said,
paid.
fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
And he told his son, he's like, turn that shit up. And boom, they went like another fucking hour, dog.
$5, dude.
Another hour for
Hey.
$5 fucking dollars a head, man.
The best
KRS
$5 shows
One.
I've been to
Dude,
3
rocking
times,
shit, yeah.
yo, and he
At the observatory.
He gives you everything.
Rock
He-
him.
It's not like he
I
minimizes.
seen him at the show. Remember that
Rock
show?
him.
The show.
Yeah.
I was there, man. That show bad.
Oh.
Rakim.
The-
Had the Pico
Rakim,
Rivera. All the
Talib Kweli, Mos Def, Common. I mean, you're talking about MCs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you think that?
I'm an old guy. So
I mean,
I
I'm
would be
talking
like,
about somebody that's
Curtis
like from
Blow.
back then can still like stand the test of time and be like relevant now.
Well,
KRS One.
some of these guys I'm mentioning, older
Rock
cats
him.
as well as some of the newer cats, they've been around for a minute now.
I mean, I'm really
They're
down,
also
I'm really down with the tribe.
all the tribe.
Yeah, the
Rest
native-
in
the whole
peace to
native
Five
tongue.
Dog.
Yeah.
You know, Jungle Brothers,
Nuts.
Tribe,
Yeah,
Beat
Nuts
Nuts
for sure.
You know, yeah, Nas, come on,
Grand Poobah.
you know,
D
Brand
Nice,
Nubians.
D Nice, any of them kids, Bumpy Knuckles, Buddy Gnome, you know what I'm saying? Freddie Fox,
Yeah.
any of them kids can kill any of these.
D
things.
Nice
Yeah,
is
yeah,
doing
yeah.
movies now.
Quiet is kept.
is he
There's some.
like producing?
Doing
There's some.
documentaries
There's
and
some.
shit like that, man.
You gotta
That's
try.
what's up.
It's unfortunate we don't get to hear it on the radio.
Yeah,
Like
of
Karis
course.
once said,
Yeah, whenever they-
radio is not the same today.
I don't even think
But-
they've ever played some KRS-One on the radio, did they?
Yeah,
He used to have his own
90s.
radio
Certain-
show. on
certain
the-
songs.
on the
Oh,
beat.
okay.
On the beat.
Dude, I'm not from way back then.
Yeah.
What year was that for people that
The
just
year
like me?
2000.
If you listen
interviewed
to our
me.
album,
yeah,
Yeah.
our
on Birth
intro
of a
to the
Movement,
album.
the intro is from his fucking live radio show. I called in. I'm a diehard, like, Karis Rum Buff. So the motherfucker answered the phone, and I froze the fuck up. So I passed the phone to my bro, and the concept topic was, where do you think hip-hop should be going in the new millennium? And so I just said shit to him, but then his own, we was like, we should be doing things the way that you do, going out to the schools,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, the communities, so forth and so on. But that's what you see is not
Yeah,
existing.
what I told him was, you know, you don't have to be a role model, but just be a good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lead by example, be a good example. You know what I'm saying? I think people, you know, with that whole role model onus, whether it's athletes or whatever, I mean, they're people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're in the spotlight. Yeah, they're...
You're a role model because you have a role that's being seen.
Yeah.
That's what the role
you know what I mean?
is.
If, you know, a lot of them, they don't like that and they you know, shun away from it, and I get it. And, you know, but... if anything, man, just be a good example. You know.
The other thing about KRS-One, too, a lot of people don't know, is they actually did a song with Sick of It All, one of my favorite punk bands.
Oh, shit.
They were on one of the original albums. They came out, he fucking introduced it, and he was on the song, dude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I love
Yeah.
about
No,
KRS-One that people don't give respect to is
Yeah,
his
he's
diversity.
everywhere.
I
man.
respect
Diversity.
that.
I love just
I
his
just
titles.
watched on Instagram, he was just
Knowledge
fucking in
reigns supreme
Copenhagen,
over nearly everyone.
rocking this shit in Copenhagen. I'm like, he's
Yeah.
still,
Yeah.
motherfuckers flow to goes because of what he gives.
Yeah.
The energy has never changed.
One of my favorite things in life.
He's
is
like a year or
fusion.
two older than me, and he's still fucking giving you.
Fusion. I don't care if it's in food, if it's in music, if it's in movies, if it's in, you know, when you put things together, when you collaborate. I mean, this Black and Brown Movement Radio podcast, you know, much respect to La Clika podcast and much love. I mean, this is a collaboration, you know what I'm saying? Where it's a fusion. As a matter of fact, I'm glad Artists United and Homelessness.
Yes,
We
sir.
have a bunch of events coming up. One of them in September is September Travaganza, whatever. I can't even pronounce that shit. But basically, they got a lot of different events going on around. And it's like the main theme is, you know, Artists United to End Homelessness. And so, yeah. There's one thing we talked about, and we're calling it a mobcast.
Oh, that's right.
A mobcast. So we got La Clika, we got Black and Brown Movement. Sneaky has R&R. You know,
Hey, dude, that shit
super audio.
That shit should be called the Slobcast.
Nope.
That was kind of tough. I get it.
We're
but-
slobs, though.
Right.
No, I'm saying because of us. We're slobs, man.
No, I'm saying. That's,
We here at La Clika, we're some sleazy motherfuckers.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. But you know how the reason we said
Yeah, I'm just playing
mobcast-
around. I'm just playing.
No, for sure. But you
No,
know
'cause
we
it's
say
a mob of
mobcast.
us.
Yeah,
mob
of course,
but
of
also
course.
but flash mob.
yeah, that's where we got
So-
the concept with the flash.
So
mob.
basically,
Gotcha, yeah.
what I want to do is I want to get, you know, not too many because, you know, we got to figure out the logistics. And I need your guys' help on this. How can we do this mobcast with the central theme being Artists United and Homelessness, involving, you know, like Clika, us, you know, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 maybe, you know. I mean, we don't want to do too many, but this is something that I haven't seen or heard of really being done. And to have the central theme being Artists United Against Homelessness and Dark Side 9004.
Founder,
All right,
one of the
so-
founders of the.
Artists
Together
So
and
I
talk
can
about it.
I can on this podcast though I can get a commitment to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. Yeah, we'll talk for sure, man.
Hey, shouts out to R&R Sneaky's podcast. We've been on that.
Big ups to
Respect and
Sneaky,
recognition.
young man with good energy and
Shouts out to Sneaky
creative
in general.
mind.
Shouts out to Super Audio. I don't know if you guys know those cats.
We don't.
Sneaky
but
actually he's doing the next Speakeasy. They're gonna be there the same
Okay.
way like you guys will
Got
be there.
you.
Maybe you guys show up and check them out.
Yeah.
But they're like we're all kind of interconnected too. They're all on the same shit we're on. So shouts out to them, and I'm already seeing that's 3 right there. Maybe adding maybe another 2 more or something, and we'll figure this shit out together, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
Stop supporting all that bubblegum shit and get your real hip hop. Know what it is. For the round, it's for the people. It's what we do. Holla back. One love.
Oh, yeah.
all right,
Thanks, guys. We appreciate you guys, man.
this where it fades out.
you.
This
Bless
where it
up.
fades out into the fucking outro I made. Here you go.
Yeah.
Rick says no, but I say yeah. Do it.
Yo, man. Too much death going around the nation, yo. Too many people dying. Brothers on the block.
In the cut production.
Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying. There's no denying. Bullet is still alive. Brothers on the block are dying.
What that devil say? Talking about spraying niggas and vatos down. We walk around, give them a pound. Look in their eyes, they be astounded. Where these founding fathers coming from? From
Muslim in amongst the maximum from Samson. True to Jerusalem, yeah, we asking them why black and brown brothers on the block be dying. No need to be wondering who's getting over, who's getting under. In the underbellies, raping and plundering. Just know the storm is coming when you see the lightning and hear the thundering. You hear the thundering.
You what up? You wake it up, you been running the block. There's guns on the block, there's drugs on the block. You get jumped in your block, it's a government plot. You get locked up and shackled down, snatched up from your block of town. New age slavery, penitentiary bound. You'll find yourself, you're not a number. Waking up from mental slumber. You we fight back, you we shoot back. You we wildin' out, you we riot out. You we built it up, so we burn it down. Fuck politicians and your treason. Fuck martial law, fuck Donald Trump. We got the bumps, and you know we thump. We roll with God, fuck your facade. C1 the ghetto god, with a black and brown movement. Revolutionary at its best, to manifest and change your destiny. It's destined in me, I'm glistening. I'm a king, with knowledge of ancient scriptures and scrolls. We roll out, you know that we shine. Opening up your third mind, third eye's blind. You know, open up and you will be coming to find what's missing.
Time for manifestation. You don't understand the situation. Why don't you see what we're facing? If we don't stop the self-segregation, brother killing brothers of other colors, not considering next brother's mother. Now she's covered in her own son's blood. Now you tell me what's really over that. We ain't even in Iraq. Too many dead not coming back, whether in a car bin or a bin. Tell me how they fell victim is due to the will and chin. Jim Crow law, still alive. The time we realize, time wake up and ride. Time killing brothers of the colors, time to wake up and love one another. 1 John 4:7-8. Time to realize before it's too late. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Love one another. Love one another. Stop the hate. Stop the hate. Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying. There's nothing lying. Will it exist still alive? Brothers on the block are dying. Brothers on the block are dying. Bullets are flying. Mothers are crying.